Ryan Buckley with the SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, the NBA's playoff play-in starts tonight. In the early game, the Magic host the Hawks for the right to lock in the 7 seed in the East in a first-round matchup with the Boston Celtics. Tip-off from Orlando tonight at 4:30 on TNT. The Magic are 5.5-point favorites. In the late game, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies are in the Bay Area taking on Steph Curry and the Warriors. Moses Moody, a game-time decision for Golden State. Tip-off from Chase Center at 7 o'clock. The Warriors favored by 7. Winners of that game will lock in the 7th seed in the West and face the Rockets in the first round. The Mariners open a 9-game road trip in Cincinnati tonight. Luis Castillo's on the bump for the M's. Nick Lodolo gets the ball for the Reds. First pitch this afternoon at 3:40. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy. WarrenAllen.com.
Do it every morning. Dirt and Spray. Weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
If you can find the time to explore the mind of a stripper,
then you can find the time to spend with your actual family.
Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
Damn! What they on? All steroids and no carbs? Them some thick-ass kids.
This is Primetime.
We're not like you. We're grown-ups.
Your source for the best in local, regional, and national sports.
Oh, my goodness.
Here are Isaac Ropp and Jason Sakanik with Primetime on 1080 The Fan.
Hey, what it do?
Ahoy, friends.
What are you doing? Why did you do that to us?
You sound somber.
Now it's low energy. Now we're low energy on a Tuesday.
Well, isn't it,
on a titillating
how
topic
am I supposed
Tuesday.
to do an exciting Masters?
The Masters is over.
I'm on a Masters high.
Who cares about the
You
Masters?
sound like you're on a Masters low.
Well, again, I can't ahoy friends in a very upbeat sort of way. That's not very. When has Jim Nantz ever come back with "Hello, friends"?
Well, it doesn't sound sad.
It's not Krusty the Clown.
Well, why are you Masters? That's like yesterday's news, man.
We've moved on.
We've moved on to the WNBA
It makes me
today.
sad.
The big WNBA draft. Are we going team by team breakdown?
Well, we have a WNBA draft segment today. I don't know if you know that.
Your vaginas didn't power the
Whoa.
penis rocket to space. Wow. There's a drop for everything. That was not in relation to the WNBA.
Whoa.
That was a shot at Katy Perry. Thank you very much. I like that she's taking a lot of heat for being out of touch.
Shocking.
I know, right?
Katy Perry's out of touch. No way.
Who started the, remember COVID, we did the locked, who started the sing-along, the Imagine? That didn't go over very well.
Oh, that was that Gal Gadot?
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
right.
I thought it was a singer, but it
And
wasn't.
that
It
pains
was,
me because I love her.
didn't go so well. It's like, hey, everybody, let's sing Imagine in our millionaire mansions. Yeah.
Actually, you know what I like?
It's out of touch.
I have a master segment today.
Oh,
for
so
you
we're
guys.
back to hello.
Hello.
Ahoy, friends.
Well, I've got green jacket facts.
Thought we had moved on from the Masters.
Nope.
So you're lying to me. You
Nope.
said we've moved
Well,
on, and yet
you
here
brought
we
it
are.
back up, so I'm just going to go ahead and power right through that door.
What else is better than the Masters right now? You excited about the big play-in games?
I'm not. No.
I mean, Buck's wearing his "In Steph We Trust" shirt.
That's right.
By the way, I didn't know this. I was doing a little spot with Buck. Buck's a wife beater guy. I didn't realize.
Whoa. You
careful,
mean like
careful there.
the clothing?
Yeah.
Good God.
God, man.
What? Well, I'm not out. Well, you think
That's a drop.
You think Buck's like, yeah, I told her. She was getting a little up, and he decided to backhand
Well,
her.
you make it sound like I either sympathize with or can
No.
understand or support the wife beaters.
He was
but
wearing a
that's,
white T-shirt
not
today,
me.
and I noticed that underneath the "In Steph We Trust," I didn't picture you as a wife beater guy.
Well, it's not all the time, but like
Oh.
this shirt is thin enough that I don't need any chest hair or nips out, but
Okay.
also I'm not going to wear like a second T-shirt under my shirt, so
Yeah.
it's like it's the logical choice here.
Can someone explain to me the wife beater logic? Like,
Well,
and
like
I don't
like
and I don't mean-
just said, it's like if the shirt's a little thin and you don't want to be like nipping out
So
or
you
like
want an undershirt,
yeah.
but
Like you don't need a second shirt, so it's just like an underlayer.
okay. So I guess I guess there's no scenario to me that a shirt is too thin. What does that mean? A shirt is too thin? Like what do
Like
you
you
need?
can
Yeah.
see through it partially.
I
Why
have-
are you wearing a see-through shirt?
Well, no,
Okay,
but
that's not the
sometimes when you
intent,
wear,
but like just sometimes like the quality
Yeah.
or the thick or thinness of the material is
Yeah.
different.
if I wear a white T-shirt, mine is if I can see my tattoos through the shirt. Yeah, it's a little thin, and then you get into the weird parts. It's one thing if you can see your arms, but when you can see the nips and the chesticles and all that.
Well, and I've got quite a bit of dark chest hair here that I'm not like
hot.
I'm not manicuring that because like no one's really ever seeing that, but I also don't want you being like, what's that carpet under there? You know?
Oh no.
Well, and I'll wear one sometimes too, as a sweat barrier.
It is a good sweat barrier.
It's a good sweat barrier. Or, like you said, if you don't want to go like a lot of chest hair, but you want to unbutton a little bit, the undershirt has a place. I have some wife beaters. I used to be a big wife beater guy. I've kind of transitioned away from it. As I've gotten
that.
Yeah, there's two in this
for
segment
God's
already.
sakes.
Oh, grow up, right?
Grow up.
Even though you're the one that said it first.
Grow up. You knew what I meant.
What an exciting time.
I still have some laying around, but I just didn't. I don't know. It was weird when I saw it. I was like, oh, Buck's a wife beater.
Like I said, not an all the time thing. It's most shirts don't really require
Buck only
it.
occasionally
It's circumstantial.
wife beaters.
I feel like the wife beater is I view it a bit like the Pitbull.
Do tell.
Well,
how do you mean?
Well, okay.
It's
This is only if it's a standalone item.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yes,
I think
let's be
Not
fair.
Like that's your.
But to me, I didn't really know. Well, I guess I knew people wore them under their shirts.
That's the principal
yes.
idea of
but
them.
it's just that's a foreign concept to me because
that's what they're made to do.
The only way I would wear one is if I were ripped and vain. And then I would wear a
No,
wife
but
beater.
again, these are two entirely, we've stumbled into something. These are two entirely different archetypes.
Yeah.
Wearing the A undershirt is as they're actually called, or the wife beater. There's a reason why they're called wife beaters, even though they're called A shirts.
Right.
If you're wearing it as an undershirt, that's all it is. It's an undergarment. And sometimes it can kind of help. If you're a bigger guy, it can suck you in a little bit, right? Give you some shape.
Oh, it's
Dude
like
Spanx?
Spanx.
You could do that.
See,
Did you say dude Spanx?
I don't think. Yeah. I mean, I guess Spanx could be for dudes, but you know,
yeah. Why don't they have Spanx for dudes?
maybe they do.
I bet you they do.
They probably do. That seems like something that like Tommy John or
but
Duluth Trading would
the
get
undershirt
into.
can give you a little shape. It can keep everything tucked in, right? But if you are wearing the wife beater or the A shirt as your outer garb,
As your top. for
that
the
is
day.
your top. You are leaving the house in a wife beater. One, you do have a Pitbull, 100%. You probably have a car that has a different hubcap and or door or hood than the other part of
You
the
may
car.
be late on your child support payment.
Yes. And look, there's a reason why they're called wife beaters. If you show up to a domestic call as a police officer, you got like a 75% chance the guy's wearing a wife beater. So it is a valid point when you say Pitbull guy, same as wife beater guy, but you need the clarification. The wife beater stands alone.
If I just rolled in today with my little shorts and just a wife beater,
Yes.
now that's a different story.
By the way, if you did that, you would instantly become my hero.
I mean, I could take the shirt off in the break.
If you just want to do the rest of the show on the CW in Buck just in a wife beater,
Maybe the club hour.
Oh God, it'd be phenomenal. But that's a whole different. Like I'll see it sometimes. You walk into the gym and my man's wearing just a wife beater at the gym,
I did that in high school. I thought it was
and
pretty
you're
cool.
like, whoa.
Well, I mean, there's a reason they call it a wife beater.
Yes,
you know.
it's a bold statement.
But I'm seeing. So I went to Spanx.com.
Yeah.
The men's section.
Oh, there is a men's section.
There's a men's tab on their website.
Do they
but
call
when
them dude Spanx?
When you go in there, there is 0 items in there.
Oh. Well, the new one now is it's not Spanx or old news. It's the Kardashian gals got one called
Skims.
Skims. Skims is the
Well, I
new-
see on Amazon they've got men's tummy control underwear.
Oh, there you go.
Tummy control.
Yes, they're compression shorts, but it's got a part above the waist that you can pull
like
up.
pregnancy pants.
Kinda.
Oh my God.
Tuck your.
Well, I mean, look.
Don't act like you're not going to shop for those. $19.99.
Look,
What a
say
great.
what you will.
What a great deal.
The gals, for all the talk of the gals being like there's way more pressure on them to look good, and that's a valid point.
That's very
They
true.
also have way more tools. Like they're allowed to wear wigs, hair pieces, Spanx, all kinds of stuff. If you're short, you wear high heels. Guys can't do that. Guys can't wear makeup to cover bad complexions. We can't wear hair pieces. We sure as hell can't wear Spanx. You imagine if your buddies found out you were wearing male Spanx, you'd never hear the end of it. But gals, yes, there's more pressure, but there are more tools in the chest.
And it's understood that you use them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called shapewear.
Men's shapewear.
It's a whole industry.
I don't think that can't be a men's.
Yeah.
Trump wears
right here.
lifts. He's a lift guy.
Men's shapewear and girdles. There are men's girdles, dude. There are padded butt lift briefs.
Oh my God.
Look, if there's a business out there, it is preying upon our
insecurities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our vanity and our insecurities and our addictions.
Sure.
And our addictive behaviors.
Yes.
That's really. So, of course it stands to, in other words, if you have to ask yourself, does this exist? Ask yourself those 3 questions. Does it prey on somebody's addictive natures, their insecurity, or their vanity?
Yeah. Well,
chances are it exists.
No, despite what Lizzo says, no one wakes up in the morning, looks in the mirror, and is like, "Oh my God, I love these rolls." Like, yeah, no. So
you do what you can.
You do what you can. Like within reason. I'm just not certain if a guy is wearing, what did you call it, shapewear?
Yeah, men's shapewear.
If a man is wearing shapewear, I think he would rather shoot himself in the leg than admit that he's wearing shapewear. Like, because we all know when women are wearing, like, if you're on a date with a gal and you put your arm around her, you're like, oh boy, there's something doing some work in there. You can feel it. A guy can't go on a first date with a gal wearing shapewear for the fear of what happens if something turns.
Yeah, if you get lucky.
Now you
where's
have
that
to,
going?
You have to unzip. You can't
throw it out the window.
Yeah, you seriously. You got to go into the bathroom and then roll that up and throw it out. You can't even throw it in the trash for fear she'll
And then in
find
the morning, the toothpaste is coming out of the tube. It's like, bleh.
Then she's like, whoa.
Like, wait. Was something holding that together?
Well, look, I think male or female, every one of us has had the experience where, whether it be in the morning or at some point in the evening, what was presented was not reality. We've all been there. You're like, whoa, what's happening here? As you said, like a can of biscuits when you break it open, right? And it just bursts out. You're like, what the hell was that? You're like, boy, that was doing some work.
He's going to go get him one of those Milwaukee butter hogs.
So that's why I've never understood that. If you're on a first date, dude, you just, like, I get it.
Be
like
you.
Maybe an anniversary, then you suck everything in and you're like, hey, I'm going to look nice. But if it's the first date, you just got to present. You got to be like, look, this is what we're working with. I know it's not the best, but this is what you got. Can you live with it?
It would seem to me that kind of thing would be very uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely, right?
Like the women always say, pain is beauty.
Yeah.
Or beauty is pain, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're like tucked into their Spanx. The
high heels are awful and they're crammed in there.
Their plastic surgery's pulling their ears apart.
Well, have you ever seen...
Their shoes are uncomfortable.
Have you ever seen, like, when you're out, right? If you've ever stayed out and closed down a bar or whatever, it's like 2:15 in the morning and you're walking to your car, or maybe you're walking to get like a late night gyro or something. It is amazing to watch the transformation of the gals who went out at like 9:30 that night looking one way. And then you see them like, it's like in the Thriller video, like Michael Jackson did the clap and now they all turn into zombies. Like the tube top has been pulled up a little bit. They're all carrying their heels because they can't walk in them anymore. The makeup's a little smeared. Maybe you've been crying. The hair is tousled. Again, they've shoved a gyro down their pie hole. And it just, that look at the end of the evening is like, wow. Like that's, it's like God's flashlight shining upon all of your poor decisions that you've made throughout the course of the evening. That's not how you went out, but that's how you're going home.
Well, dress as you see fit.
Yeah.
And if you like a compression tank, I say go for it.
Someone said we need to get Schulte in a wife beater and his Mariner headband.
He wears those, though. He wears wife beaters.
Schulte's a wife beater guy, too?
I think
but
so.
But not as a...
As a shape garment?
Yeah, I just think Can
we get Schulte some shapewear?
I think he'll be in later.
What would happen if you bought your buddy for his birthday?
Shapewear?
Some shapewear. Hey, Schulte, was just thinking about you, buddy. Here's some shapewear. You borrow your wives. Hey, I'm going for a job interview. I got to look my best. I'm gonna borrow your shapewear.
If I find out that Schulte is not a wife beater guy,
yeah,
I'm gonna feel really bad. And the reason
You're saying that he is?
Well, yeah, because I have no real basis for it. I think I'm just in my head
thinking
that he seems like the type, as opposed to having seen it.
I feel like
and that's unfair.
That is unfair.
So
That's a.
let's hope he wears wife beater, so I don't have to.
I bet you. See,
So I can feel better about myself.
if I had to bet on a fan wife beater guy, I'm gonna say Sprague.
Well, I think
that's accurate.
Again, there's another one where I think I've seen him with a
I
wife
don't know
beater.
if he has. He just Sprague is the skinny. He's skinny. He's in shape. I think Sprague. I could see Sprague being wife beater guy, because skinny guy I think is more likely to be wife beater guy than maybe.
Well, you
someone
said you're wife beater guy.
once in a while. Once in a while.
Buckley's wife beater guy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
in your face.
Mine is an occasion. I got rid of most of mine, but yeah, there was a period where I was. I would say I was like a 5 out of 7 day. I was a wife beater undershirt guy.
What'd you do with your Pitbull? Did you give him up?
Yeah, not my
Boy, did you see that story in Seattle with the Pitbull?
not my favorite dog. No. Let me guess. It mauled somebody.
No, but it's not good, dude.
Oh well.
We'll do that story on In the News.
Yeah. As someone that has been bit by a family member's Pitbull multiple times, including having my face ripped apart, and then that person refusing to get rid of the dog, let me state for the record, Pitbulls can go right to hell.
Well, there's a woman in Seattle. I'll just give you the gist of it.
Yeah.
There's a woman in Seattle, 30-year-old woman,
Mhm.
who had a pit bull
Yeah.
that she would not leash, and she would walk it,
Of course.
and it would attack all the other dogs.
Yeah.
And she would stand back and say, let him do his thing.
Oh, for God's sakes.
And then
Hope that
she said,
Bitch is in prison.
well, they did arrest her,
Good.
not to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
But she then said, don't worry, he's not a pit bull, he's the chupacabra.
Oh, yeah, even better.
So we've got some mental illness perhaps
Sure.
at play here.
Well, this is my problem I have with Pitbull owner. They always tell me that the Pitbull is misunderstood, and theirs is the sweetest one, and he's misunderstood right up to the point where he's biting me, and then I'm going to the hospital to have my face stitched open. I've been told that so many stinking times, but I just, as you can tell, still a bit personal to me. Yeah, I take a little bit of offense to that one.
Well, if you were wearing a wife beater, the pit bull would not have attacked you because he would have thought you were his own.
Mutual sign of
yes.
respect.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. They don't attack people with
Yeah.
wife beaters.
The best part was right as it was right about as it ripped into my face, I believe the exact words came out of someone's mouth. See, there's nothing to be afraid of. He's nice. Right until he ignored the treat in my hand and grabbed my face.
But you're not very bitter.
No, not at all. And then
I
when you
don't
say
hear
get
that.
rid of the effing dog, and they say I don't want to make an emotional decision. Yeah, that's maybe just.
Why don't we get John on the horn? You guys can just hash it out right here on the air.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah. Put him on the hotline.
Nah, we're all right.
Yeah.
No, that's we're okay with that one.
Yeah. Sounds like everything's great.
Oh, well, I made my decision.
There's your opening seggy. Thank you.
We think.
As I mentioned at the top of the show, you may have missed it. It is Titillating Topic Tuesday
I love titillating topics.
because we're going to start. So we're big on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
We're going to start ramping it up on Tuesdays too.
Wow. Do we have the energy? Do we have the emotional capital?
Only this week we do because we don't really have a Friday show except for 1 hour
Oh, that's true.
because we're going to go party.
But I'll tell you what, that 1 hour on Friday, you aren't ready.
You're not.
You're not ready for what I'm bringing to the table.
Oh, I'm not.
No.
What if you're not?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be up on it. Might I might do some enhancements.
You might need to wear a wife beater.
Wife beaters, some enhancements. You don't know. Buck, I might need to borrow one of yours.
All right. Let's take a break, okay?
Let's.
Tired of this crap. Says here NBA playoffs are almost set. Is that true?
Well, it starts tonight.
I don't think it does.
No, it does.
How do you mean?
Well, the play-in's not the playoffs. See,
No,
it's
but the
in the name.
play-in
Play
will
in.
set the playoffs. That's how
Play-
it's nearly set.
I know, but it's not fully set.
It's a valid
But did
point.
you just say
I
it's nearly
said
set?
almost, didn't I?
We're getting
Yeah.
into some.
So we have 6 of 8 in each conference.
we're
It's
getting
almost
into
set.
Some semantics, but yeah.
Well, my point is it's not completely set.
No, but the
No.
play-in will go to set that.
Correct, but it won't
Therefore-
end tonight.
Almost set.
God. My God.
Let's all go
Okay.
get some shapewear and feel better about ourselves.
I'm ordering it right now.
It'll take an edge off.
All right, we'll start with that next on The Fan.
The Blazers
There you have it.
Stupid.
Admitting to crimes live on the air. That's a new one.
Is it really?
Unbelievable.
I used to be a big wife beater guy.
What other crimes have we admitted to?
There's that bad prison one that's in there. That one makes me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The white supremacy thing.
God.
Yeah, put him in jail. Yee-hoo!
Not
I
gonna
know
lie,
that
that
I'll
I'll probably have to join a white supremacist gang. That's not.
Again,
There's a lot of those problems. It's out of context, damn it.
They're all you.
It's out of context.
That's what makes them great.
It's AI. Why are you going there? It's not. It's all AI. I never said any of those things.
Come on.
Exactly.
Well, the NBA playoffs are almost set.
Almost.
We've got some big play-in action tonight.
One of them I'm actually mildly intrigued by.
Are you?
Well,
Let me see if I can guess which one. Magic Hawks.
Can't wait.
Trey Young, Paolo Banchero, catch the fever.
Jeez. Can I just say
Are you talking about the Warriors Grizzlies?
there may be nothing that is less interesting to me. That's not true. The WNBA. There's only one other thing that interests me less.
Always got to take shots at the WNBA. Unbelievable. Yeah, not
Caitlin
only,
Clark is white.
you're not only a criminal, you're sexist. Pig.
Than Eastern Conference basketball. Ugh. It gives me the ick.
Here's what we have. So it's looking to me like the Cavs are your first place team in the East.
You are correct, sir.
How about that? They await the winner of all this play-in bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Orlando the 7, Atlanta the 8. They play tonight.
And the winner of that will get Boston.
Gets Boston.
I don't
and
think
then-
you want to win tonight.
No.
I think you'd rather get the 8 seed and play Cleveland.
Yeah, but then you got a gun.
Yeah, I know.
You got a gun to your head, and I
Yep.
think Miami has to make the playoff, or make the actual playoffs. Otherwise, I think Miami loses their pick. So,
so Miami has incentive to make the playoffs?
I think Miami does have incentive. Well,
Playoffs?
I mean,
is that really a thing where some teams don't even want to get in? And they're in the play-in?
I mean, I guess Chicago, towards the end, Chicago was making that they wanted to get in, but I mean,
A couple years ago, the Mavericks got in trouble because they tanked the last couple games of the regular
To not be
season
in.
when the play-in was like they were 2 games back and they lost the last 4 on purpose.
well, I mean,
because
it's
they
one of
wanted
those
draft
things
pick,
that if you're
draft lottery.
sitting there, if you're Miami, Chicago, Atlanta, like, where are you going? And honestly, well, wait till next year when Portland's in this situation where we're like, oh, can we get to 42 wins and get the 9 seed? Yeah, it's the same sort of thing, but
It's actually pretty neat.
I mean, the idea that you get in, I guess when Miami had playoff Jimmy, I mean, they did something, but you're playing Cleveland and Boston, dude, good luck. All you're doing is extending your misery and giving yourself a couple home games.
I was going to say, that right there is worth it. You get a couple,
Yeah.
you get some revenue out of the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, not worth it to players, but, or maybe it is worth it to players. I don't know.
I think they said each playoff game is worth something. It's like $3.5 to $5 million.
The team president will like that.
Absolutely. Helps
So
the
it's
bottom line a little bit.
Miami and Chicago, that's the 9-10. And then the winner of that plays the loser of Orlando, Atlanta. And then the winner of that plays Cleveland.
Yes.
Which is, I don't know, kind of stupid. But that's the way they do it now. Pacers are the 4. The Bucks are the 5. They're saying Damian Lillard will not play. But
yeah, I was
could be cleared soon.
Yeah, I was surprised by this because normally, like the blood clot thing, you're done. I mean, and like you can be done for a long time, but they're saying that the blood clot is progressing. His basketball activities are ramping up, so I'm guessing they've either got him off the blood thinners, or they're about to get him off the blood thinners. And they said that if they progress in the playoffs, there is a chance that he plays. And look, I don't think Milwaukee's doing anything, but you know, if you get Damian Lillard back, I mean, speaking of a team that you don't really want to see, I don't want to play Giannis. I don't want to play Dame in the playoffs. I mean, that's just what if either one of those guys, you know, decides to go, you know, all nuky on you, yeah, you could. That's problematic.
3 seed is the Knicks. They will play the Pistons. How about that? Detroit's in the playoffs.
Yeah, for the first time in forever.
And then Boston awaits the winner of Orlando, Atlanta.
Yeah, Detroit was kind of a fun story this year.
Now, the West is actually pretty good.
Yes.
Oklahoma City, the 1. They await the winner of the 9-8. So that's Warriors, Grizzlies loser versus Mavs, Kings winner.
Yeah, it's just Lambda slaughter, whatever.
4-5, Nuggies, Clippies. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Very tasty.
That's juicy.
Well, I think 4-5 and 3-6 are both very interesting.
And then 3-6 is Lakers T-Wolves.
Yep.
And the Rockettes await the winner of Warriors Grizzlies.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Golden State,
You want this one tonight, bad.
I know you didn't want to be in the play-in and you were fighting to not get in the play-in. But if you're Golden State and you ended up at 6 and you had to play the Lakers, I'm not so certain that I know it's the extra game and that stinks. And if you lose it now, all bets are off because you're playing a 1 for your life. But they're like 7.5, 8-point favorites. They should take care of Memphis tonight. And if they do, I'll tell you, I would much rather play Houston. Houston reminds me very much of when Memphis was the 2 seed those 2 years. It's a good young team, not a lot of stars, but they play hard. But there's some real question about what Houston is in the long run. And if I'm Golden State, I like my chances against Houston.
Yeah, and if you slip to 8 and have to play the Thunder, you do not want that.
You don't want
so
that.
like you're actually kind of in the catbird seat as far as matchups are concerned. They got to get this one.
Yeah.
Who will go further, Warriors or Lakers?
And who did the Lakers draw? They get the T-Wolves?
The Lakers got the T-Wolves. I'll take Golden State because I think Golden State's going to beat Houston. And I think LA
then they would play each other.
I think they'll play each other.
They'll play
That's
each
what
other.
I think happens.
And then at that point, I
You
mean,
got the Warriors?
a lot of it just depends on what you get out of how much does LeBron have in the tank. And do we also know the playoff schedule? Are they doing the fun? We get 9 days off.
Oh, I'm sure they'll drag the thing out as long as they possibly can.
The longer they drag that thing off, the more I think that helps.
Especially for LeBron games.
That helps LeBron and it helps Luka, who's probably not in the best shape in the world. So I don't know. I mean, I just think that's a hell of a series. You give me LA and Golden State, one final push with Oklahoma City probably waiting on the other side in a conference final. Let's go. Just fast forward to that.
Sign me up now.
Who goes further, Celtics or Thunder?
I think they're going to meet in the finals.
I do too.
So
Isn't that what everyone thinks though?
I think so, which probably means it won't happen.
But the NBA is pretty predictable.
Yeah.
As sports playoffs go, they're the most predictable.
Well,
because they play 7-game series and it's all about the star players. And
well, and Oklahoma City's got. I mean, look, there's no team with a brighter future than Oklahoma City, but they have an owner that doesn't have a lot of money. That supposedly there's some talk that he's not gonna pull a Golden State and pay a bunch of money to keep everything together, and the Thunder are gonna be expensive here in a few years when they have to with the new salary aprons and all that, and the guys on their own team that they drafted eligible for big extensions. I think there is some urgency for Oklahoma City to win and win now. It's almost like when you're in the NFL and you're on those rookie contracts. I'm just not certain that Oklahoma City is going to keep the window open. Say what you will about Golden State and we're smarter than everyone else. The one thing that guy did, old Jacob, is he kept that window open.
Yeah, he ponied up.
He put his money where his
Joe Lacob.
Yeah, Joe Lacob.
Yeah.
He put his money where his money where his mouth was, and he kept that thing open and continues to do it. And people are saying that they're not so certain that Schultz, the Starbucks guy, who has money, but he is not. This isn't like, I got $9 billion, that he may not be willing to do that. And we've seen Oklahoma City sell off parts, remember, and no different ownership.
Schultz is the Oklahoma City owner?
Yeah. Or no, he sold it to, he sold it to Clay Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? The new owners at Oklahoma City?
The new Oklahoma City is not, they are not the wealthiest owners in the league.
And Clay Bennett still the owner? Yeah.
What?
Is Clay Bennett still the owner?
Yes.
Okay.
He's still the owner.
Okay. Confused me there.
So it's a small market team.
I'm scared.
And right here, Clay Bennett, chairman, he has a net worth of $590 million. He is one of the poor.
He's like Mark Davis.
Yes. And he is
poor guy.
There is an idea in Oklahoma City that they are not going to spend to keep this together. So their best opportunity to win, there's this idea that for 10 years the sky's wide open for them. And I know they have more draft picks and they can kind of turn over the roster a little bit, but this version may not have a 5 or 6 year window because they got some dudes on there that you're going to have to pay. And homegrown talent in this new structure, especially when you get into the Supermax deals like Shea's going to get because he's going to win an MVP. Some of these guys on these extensions, some of these guys are going to be making $80-90+ million a year.
What if their new model, they've been laying it out the whole time, and it is get 55 draft picks
And just keep turning over the
and
roster?
draft a championship team with each set of them. How about that?
Well, I mean,
And then this one, they'll just trade them away, get more draft picks for years 2039 and 2040. And then because don't they have like 500 draft picks still?
they have a lot of draft picks.
So they can draft a whole other team
Yeah. And,
to win another championship.
And they really haven't made big swinges with the assets they have to go acquire
Not yet.
veteran guys.
But
they've just kind of kept this youth movement going.
And oh, by the way, Oklahoma City is a small market. Just want to point that out.
Yeah. So
it can be done.
yeah. They came close last time, but remember they couldn't keep Harden, Westbrook, and
no, I just mean like
yes, you can do it.
you know.
Well, I remember years ago when
Acquiring all those
Portland was kind of when they made their run to the conference final. I remember on the show we were asked the question, who would you rather have, Portland or Oklahoma City? And people were like, oh, you take Portland, they have Dame. And I remember you specifically saying, dude, I will take Oklahoma City all day long. Fast forward a few years, and Portland is the Israelites wandering through the desert, and we got Oklahoma City up there living high and on the hog in the Pharaoh
So
seat.
now it's a no-brainer, but here's a better question now. Would you rather have Portland now or just Oklahoma City's draft picks?
Oh, I'd have to take a look.
I'll take Oklahoma City's draft picks. I'll stay.
Problem is
I'll stay
Oklahoma
on that
City's
horse.
picking at the back end of the draft now.
Well, I'll take Oklahoma City's draft picks.
I don't know about that, but
All right, so coming up next, let's carry this over. Got a couple other playoff questions. I think the Lakers are a pretty interesting case study, so we'll get to that next. But first, Buck with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, the NBA's playoff play-in tournament starts tonight. In the early game, the Magic host the Hawks for the right to lock in the 7 seed in a first-round matchup with the Boston Celtics. Tip-off from Orlando at 4:30 on TNT. The Magic are 5.5-point favorites. In the late game, John Morant and the Grizzlies are in the Bay Area, taking on Steph Curry and the Warriors. Winner of that game gets a matchup with the 2-seed Rockets in the first round. Moses Moody, a game-time decision for Golden State. Tip-off from the Chase Center at 7 o'clock. Warriors favored by 7. Elsewhere in the association, Damian Lillard will miss the start of the postseason for the Bucks due to the blood clot in his right calf. His condition has improved, but he is yet to be cleared by team doctors. And the Mariners open a 9-game road trip in Cincinnati tonight. Luis Castillo is on the bump for the M's. Nick Lodolo gets the ball for the Reds. First pitch actually in just a matter of moments, 3:40. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley, George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Prime. Fan.
I was looking at the NBA playoff odds today, and it was interesting to me that, of course, Oklahoma City's the favorite, Boston next. But it was interesting that the Lakers and Warriors were after that, not the 1 seed in the East, Cleveland, or the 2 seed in the West, Houston. Yeah. I thought that was interesting because, the Lakers, they're kind of an interesting case study because we always say the NBA playoffs are all about stars, right? Well, they have the stars, but they don't seem all that well built as a unit, whereas Houston and Cleveland are two, more, they're just team-oriented, right? They're fewer stars. I mean, I know Donovan Mitchell's a star, but come on, that doesn't compare to LeBron and Luka.
I think the big one is, LA tried to address it at the trade deadline, and it didn't work out because of the health issue with the guy they got from Charlotte, but if you didn't have Jackson Hayes and Dorian Finney-Smith, I think you would feel a little better about that. I think when you look at Luka, Reeves, Rui, and LeBron, I think you're happy with that. The depth of it, though, isn't there. So I think it's more of the idea of you have a hole in the middle, and where's your bench come from?
Yeah,
but
that's not a well-built team.
It's not, but you have stars.
You have the stars. So that's what I'm saying is I think that how far the Lakers go will be telling because everybody seems to want to keep saying for some reason that the new NBA is going to be less star driven, more team oriented. Yeah. And I mean, unless the nature of basketball, the actual sport changes, I don't know how they think that's, how they, like, are you betting on Cleveland over LA? Are you betting on Houston over, I don't know, say Golden State?
No.
Well, there you go.
I'll take Steph and Draymond and Jimmy. I'll take LeBron and Luka. Oklahoma City is a nice combination because
they're both. Yeah.
They're both,
and that's where you get championship teams.
Yes,
like
and Boston has that.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston is kind of ridiculous when you look.
Celtics are the balls.
You have Tatum, Brown. You have Porzingis. You have Drew Holiday. And by the way, you have the NBA Sixth Man of the Year coming off the. I mean, Boston's got it all. It's just a matter of
Derek White was an Olympian too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You forget about that. Derek White.
They're so deep.
For God's sake.
Well, that's why they won it.
They won it. And you just got to imagine this year that the idea is that they've just been sleepwalking and don't really care. Wake me when you get to the playoffs. And even though Cleveland is 3 games better than them, I don't know many people that think that Cleveland is going to beat Boston. And then we'll find out, does someone in the West have enough to knock them off?
Knock who? Oh, you mean
Boston.
Oklahoma City? Boston's. Oh, you mean in the finals?
Yeah, in the finals.
Yeah.
I think most people have Boston penciled through. The West is.
I'm just pointing out that I think the Lakers are a very interesting test of this idea that it's not always just about stars. Well, if the Lakers are in the finals, guess what that tells you?
Stars.
Yes, it is. Because LeBron's a badass, and last I checked, Luka's a top 3 or 4 player in the league.
Well, you can make the argument. You could say the same thing. If LA, Denver, Clippers, Golden State, if any of them end up making a run, those are not complete teams. But Denver has the best player in the world. Yeah. Golden State has, 3, but really, Draymond at this point in his career, I don't know if he's a star, but you've got...
He's a star on defense, not offensively.
You've got one of the great playoff performers of all time in Jimmy Butler that we've seen take lesser talent. Oh, by the way, you have this guy by the name of Steph Curry. And the Clippers, kind of people forget about the Clippers sitting there, but...
They're good.
Last time I checked, they just got done beating Golden State in a game that mattered.
When will Kawhi get hurt?
Exactly.
Tomorrow?
But you have Kawhi and you have James Harden.
Or Sunday. Because come on, and you can see why nobody trusts them. But yes, you should not.
Don't.
We shouldn't overlook them. What about the Bucks?
Yeah,
and what about the Bucks?
It's a matter of if Dame comes back from the blood clot.
Well, they weren't that good with him.
No, they weren't.
Giannis won a title without Dame.
Yes,
I like how we're just now. They have to have Dame or they won't go anywhere. They have Giannis.
I just think when you, no offense to the rest of that lineup, they need a healthy Dame. If Dame is healthy, Milwaukee is a dangerous team. Without Dame,
you know who I'm betting on?
They're not doing.
You know who I'm betting on, bro?
What?
Pacers, bro. All Pacers, all day.
Yeah. Well, that would be the
Pritch.
That would be the definition of a bunch of solid players.
Wait, is he still there?
Yeah, I think Pritchard's still there.
You want to talk about a guy who builds a team?
Does build a team.
Well, he almost built a championship team here in Portland.
Yeah.
Well, a team that looked like a championship team on paper.
Yeah. I still
Put it that way.
contend it would have been very, very interesting to see what would have happened had all three of those guys could have stayed healthy and only one of them did. Brandon Roy was so stinking good. We just don't give him enough credit. And then Odin,
Yeah.
I forget what the record is, but when those three guys played together, their record
they played 82 games. I think they played a full season together, not in one season.
But
they
combined.
played a total. Somehow I think that it came out to where they ended up only playing 82 games together, and they won like 61 of them or something.
Yeah. And it was just
that's with Odin, Aldridge, and Roy together on the court.
You came close.
I'm gonna look that up.
And then Lillard came, and you did nothing.
They got to the West Finals.
Buddy stuff.
You put nothing around him, and I mean
Siege. Al-Farouq Aminu.
That's just my big
Alan Crabb, Chief. How about what's his nuts? Myers Leonard, Zach Collins. Come on, dude.
That is just my greatest fear, that we're just gonna sit here and be like, well, it worked so well the first time around with Dame. Let's do it with these guys. Instead of Dame, you have Denny.
I don't like your attitude. 51 and 25. Let's see. Nope, that's not it.
Nope.
That's not it. Never mind.
Nope.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Bleep, bleep.
Anybody?
I thought I had that off the top of my head, but maybe I don't.
I know their record when they played.
They
together
played
was quite good.
62 games.
62 games.
And they were 50 and 12. Aldridge, Roy, and Odin when they played together.
So close.
Yet so far away.
You were what, 3 knees away? Because I think both of Brandon's knees went, and then one of Greg's. So
can you put them in the play-in tournament right now?
I don't think so.
Damn
I think 2 of them can't walk.
Yeah, I was just thinking that before I said that. I was like, oh.
I was in Vegas a number of years ago, and we were at the Wynn, and Odin was there, and it reminded me of when I met Bill Walton. There is that walk is not it's not a confident walk. It's more of a kind of
it's an amble.
An amble, like a little back, like
They knew that back in what year was that? I don't even remember what year.
Long time ago.
They knew that back then.
Yeah. Who needed that Kevin Durant guy?
Remember?
Hey, it turned out Kevin Durant's a real killer.
Pritchard said, and I remember he was in studio with us, and he said, we think Kevin Durant is going to win multiple NBA scoring titles.
Yes.
But this other guy, Greg Oden, the upside.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what he said after that, but.
Yeah, he said that he was going to lead him to titles. You know, they had played in the NCAA title game, and the idea was you already had Roy and you had Aldridge. So
but he admitted that they knew Kevin Durant was going to be awesome.
Yes.
He was just like, even with the medicals, it's too good to pass up Greg Oden. Yeah,
he had like one foot that was long, or one leg that was longer than the other, so they tried to put orthopedics in him, and it just,
How did we get on that?
Didn't work out.
Hey, today was season ticket renewal day, or pick your seat day, I mean.
For the Blazers?
Yeah, bro.
They jacking up those
Did you pick
prices?
your seats?
No, I did not pick my seats. I'm gonna jack up with 14 games.
Gotta get close to the action next year.
I do know they made them more expensive. My the BTJ's company has a suite, and they were balking at the price.
Yeah, well, hey, but you didn't hear the press conference the other day?
Oh man, sky's the limit.
It's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's actually pretty neat. They're going places.
Yeah, so let's pay more.
So let's charge more.
Jack up those prices.
You're a loser.
That happens.
All right, who you got? NBA playoffs right now. Who wins the NBA title?
I've said it all along, and people think I'm crazy, but I'm taking Oklahoma City.
Why do people think that's crazy?
Because everyone assumes that Oklahoma City is too young and that they bowed out in the second round last year. I don't see. They play such good defense. They have an MVP guy. I think Oklahoma City, but I may just be in contrarian there. Boston. The smart money is on Boston, but I've been saying Oklahoma City all year.
They're not the favorite.
Oklahoma City is?
Yeah, Oklahoma City's the favorite, not Boston.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means the smart money's on.
Then that's
Oklahoma
not
City.
being good. Change my mind then. Boston.
You're an idiot. Who do you want, Buck?
Or
who do you like?
I would
Who
have
do you
predicted Boston over OKC. I think Boston repeats.
Okay, if somebody's not named the Thunder or the Celtics in the finals, who is it? That's the real question. Because everybody thinks Celtics Thunder. So
yeah,
and I get it.
I'll tell you, I do think that LA and Golden State have a chance.
I think either of those teams have a chance.
I don't think Denver. I don't think the Clippers. Honestly, I'll flip. If it's not Oklahoma City in the West, I think it's going to be the Lakers or Golden State. And to be honest with you, I'd be fine with either one. I think it'd be really cool to see LeBron or Steph get another crack at this because
Yeah.
look, the clock is ticking on that.
Me too.
To see one of those guys, because Steph, that would be
That'd be his fifth.
fifth, and LeBron, that would be six,
I
right?
think that's right.
I think he's got 5 already, and he gets to 6, and Jordan's already at 6.
Hey, that's what the league wants.
That's what the league
That's
wants.
right.
Watch those calls. Watch those whistles. All right, so we'll pick one. Warriors or Lakers?
Give me the Warriors,
Okay, and you're going
just because I like Steph better than I do LeBron.
if a team is not
I
Name
would
the
I would
Thunder
actually
or
if the
Celtics.
Warriors and Lakers play, which I think they will, I think the Lakers win that series.
so you're going Lakers.
I'm going Lakers.
Look at you having no faith
But I
in
also
the Lakers.
I feel like Denver still has all the pieces to
Yeah,
do this, but they're
okay.
just in turmoil having fired everybody. So I don't
You can make a case for a lot of
I
teams
don't
in
know.
the West.
I could see Jokic putting everybody on his back and saying, let's go.
It'd be
I
pretty
don't
awesome too. I just think there's going to be some good storylines.
I've got the Pacers. Pacers in 5.
know. You and Halliburton, let's ride.
All right. Green jacket facts coming up next on the Fan.
The Fan.
All right, coming up in our next segment, we'll discuss the beginning of killing season, an expose. But first, I have Masters green jacket facts.
Talk to me.
Only because, well, why not?
Yeah. These are always fun. These are fun.
Well, yeah, I saw this today on the tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Wolf is this guy's name. And he had this. He said, in honor of Rory's green jacket, here's a few fun facts about one of the rarest and hardest to come by pieces of tailoring in the world.
So it's not just like, you don't send that out to Macy's to get it done?
Well, you could probably make a replica green jacket if you wanted.
How nice is that? Like, I want to
But
know.
why
like,
would someone do that?
If you felt that jacket, were you like, oh my God? Or
I
if
don't
you
know.
put it on and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
see,
okay.
I think the latter. I think you put it on, you're like,
Feels like a blazer.
kind of cheap.
You know, because if you've ever tried on like a really, really nice sport coat, you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I'm guessing this isn't that.
It's probably the exact same material they've been using for 70 years or whatever.
Well, actually, it's 60 years, Buckley, but close. Actually,
that's why I said or whatever. That's my qualifier.
59 years. The jacket is made by Hamilton Tailoring Company in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Look at American made.
American
no
made.
tariffs on that son of a bitch.
The jacket worn by champions after winning the Masters is not the custom one made for them. It is simply a jacket one of the members owns that is deemed most likely to fit the champion.
Oh, so you just give them your rough size.
Yeah, because they don't know who's going to win. They're not going to make
Sure.
a jacket for freaking,
I used to assume they had some. I used to assume
Hoygaard.
they had a series like maybe 10 of the different sizes, and they just would do it that way.
They're like, Hoygaard, you ain't winning this tournament. We ain't making you a jacket.
Fat ass. Yeah, what happens if a big fat ass wins it?
Well,
and there's
Lowry.
and there's not a fatty member.
Well, there probably is a fatty member, although I will
There's a
say,
fatty member.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. But I will say all those guys that are in green jackets, when I was there at least, they all look exactly alike.
Yeah, they're all like
They're
old
all
skinny
tall,
guys.
skinny, white old men.
What if my big ass won the Masters? Are they gonna have like a 56 long?
I don't know. Maybe you have to go into John Rahm's locker or something.
VJ Sings, maybe?
Yeah.
The big Fijian?
Try that thing on. Do you know whose jacket? And it's probably cool if you're a member. If they use your jacket, that's probably a cool honor.
Yeah.
By the way, I can get one right here on floridajacket.com. Cost me $80.
Yeah, does it have the actual Masters patch on it?
Yeah.
On the pocket?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dare you to wear that around. Why would somebody even wear that?
I don't know. That's like the douchiest.
You know?
That's the douchiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like when someone wears like a Navy SEAL hat, and you're like, "Wait, are you a Navy SEAL?" No. Well, you probably shouldn't be wearing that. You didn't earn that.
The champion is fit after the tournament for their own jacket, and they're permitted to wear it outside of Augusta National for 1 year. Did you know that?
And I thought you had to keep it at you're
You
not allowed
do.
to take it home, but for 1
That's
year.
after the 1 year.
After the year. Yeah, so once it's been a year, you have to take the jacket and you have to take it back to the club.
You know you're doing that with just the jacket on that first
And
night,
if you
right?
think about it, think about all the gas with the private jet, and you got to get it all the way over there. It's like, God.
By the way, can I say that's dumb? Why should that jacket just sit in a locker room where you're not able to wear it? If you want to wear that thing every day for the rest of your life, why not? Why does that have to go back there?
That's the way they want it,
and
Buck.
sit there. It's
Well,
dumb.
I mean, it's like the Stanley Cup, Buck. You get the Stanley Cup for one
Well,
day.
but other people's names are going on that cup. Like nobody else's. That's not going to be someone else's jacket.
Isn't Buck thinking that he's better than Augusta National?
I think if
tell
I
you
wanted Augusta National, I'm not giving that thing back.
You are. You're not coming
Yeah,
back.
you ain't playing that tournament.
You
again.
really think that you just think that Augusta's going to bend to your will?
Someone needs to take a stand. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't worry about it.
Other fun facts about the jacket: 3 have been auctioned off. 1 for over $600,000, but the company selling them got sued by the club.
I did see once that Arnold Palmer's jacket was stolen, and they sold that, but the FBI got involved.
Wait, how do you steal that?
Someone stole Arnold Palmer's jacket, and I'll look it up here, but it sold for like a couple $1,000,000. But here's the problem: when you sell Arnold Palmer's jacket, you know where it came from, and like the FBI jumped on it, and I think they nabbed the guy. Yeah, $3.6 million, and then the FBI swarmed him during the planned handoff.
Oh, so they knew that.
They knew.
I mean, that's like stolen art or anything like that. Like something significant like that. Where are you ever going to sell it without getting caught?
Yeah, right. Yeah, here it is. But at the time, theirs was made by Hart. Was it Who makes these jackets, you said?
Hamilton and Cincinnati.
This is Hart, Schaffner, and Marks used to make it. Here's the, and look how cheesy the Arnold Palmer stitching is. I mean, this was obviously back in the day.
That almost looks handwritten.
It almost looks handwritten. But yeah, someone, U.S. Attorney's Office has said that a man indicted Tuesday for transporting Masters merchandise and memorabilia that was known to be stolen from Augusta National Golf Club. So yeah, when the guy was putting up for bid, they knew what it was, and they contacted and they went through with the sell. And then when they went to the handoff, they were there and nabbed him.
And our last little fun fact here, courtesy of Jake Wolf, is that Billy Casper, did you know this about Billy Casper?
No.
He won the tournament in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
He has been buried in his green jacket.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I would look.
Yeah.
Guess he didn't have to give it back then, did he?
If I was the master, you son of a bitch. If I was the master champion, wouldn't you want to be buried in the jacket? Because you can't.
No, I think I want it passed down to my.
But they won't let you. It has to stay at the club.
Well, they let him. I mean, it's on his corpse.
But it's buried. They will not. They will not let one. You cannot give that to your kids that he can have it out.
Okay, well then.
So
maybe,
either he gets it dead or nobody gets it.
Maybe I take a fake one and put it on him. Like I swap the jacket right before he's buried.
Yeah.
And then I take the real one and I keep it in the family.
Said this was that story that I was looking this up on Arnold Palmer. It said in '94 a golfer came across a jacket with a price tag of $5 in a Toronto thrift store. It turned out it was an authentic green jacket. While the original owner's name cut out of the jacket, still other tagging allowed experts to date it back to the early 1950s, making it among the earliest in existence. While it was not a champion's coat, it did belong to an Augusta member. Augusta National confirmed the jacket's authenticity, but refused to answer questions about the identity of the original owner. And it was, as of right now, it's the only one that has known to go to auction. And it sold, unknown whose it was, from the 1950s, it sold for $139,000. And it was a $5 thrift store find in Toronto.
Wow.
Only one, 42 regular. And it's the only known jacket to have actually been legally sold out on the open market. So I'm guessing that's why they can't let a family member have it, because then once it's out,
yeah,
their whole thing is these jackets, you do not get your hands on one.
Yeah, Buck. You got to bring it back.
But if you're buried in it, I'm guessing that the Augusta's fine with that. Although I bet you there's someone from Augusta watching your ass go in the ground.
It's probably someone's entire job to do jacket inventory.
Yes.
He's buried at Evergreen Cemetery in Springville, which is in...
You want to dig
Not
that
Augusta,
up?
Georgia. Not the
I think it's
clubhouse.
in California.
Think we do a little grave robbing? Get that
Do you,
jacket?
do you think there's like a master's guard there standing over his tomb?
Well, look,
the tomb of the
It's like
unknown
the changing
soldier.
of the guards.
if an unknown jacket sold for $139,000, if we can sell a champion's jacket,
Let's go get Billy's jacket.
Dude, I think we're getting $1 million.
You gonna peel that thing off of his
Yeah,
bone shoulders?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he was embalmed, so it's probably all right. Got a nice casket, sealed it in. It's probably not that bad. I like where we're going with this.
I bet it's not in great shape.
Yeah, I wonder what.
I don't know.
That's a good question. What kind of shape it's in?
Couldn't tell you.
Probably smelly.
I've never dug up a dead body before, but again, I'm sure AI can. What is the Gronk or whatever? Ask Gronk.
Gronk.
What's the condition?
Gronk? What are you
It's
talking?
Grok.
Grok?
Yeah.
Grok. What's the condition? Grok.
We should ask Gronk things
We
instead
should
of
ask
Gronk.
Gronk.
Who's Grok?
Grok is
The-
Elon's AI bot
AI.
that is attached to Twitter. There is a tab on Twitter that just says Grok, and that's where you enter all your AI questions.
Oh,
But I like Gronk better.
I think it'd be funner if it was Gronk.
I agree.
And then his voice, bro.
all right. Hot green jacket facts for you today here on the show. Coming up next, you do know that it's the beginning of killing season. Did you know that? Do you know what that means?
What are we killing?
Well, people.
Oh, the purge is on.
Not that that's funny.
Wait, would you purge?
What do you mean?
You
Would I
seen
kill
You
someone?
never seen the purge?
No. What does that mean?
There's a whole set of movies. There's like 5 of them. And the idea is in the future, in order to curb violence throughout the year, one night of the year in the United States, it's the purge, where there are no rules. So if you've been wanting to kill someone or do some harm or whatever, You got 24 hours. The sun goes down, you got 24 hours, Thunderdome. So everyone either holds up in heavily fortified houses or you go out and you purge. You go out and it's like Halloween, but instead of trick-or-treating, you kill everybody.
Yeah, no purging here.
You take your Halloween and shove it up your little kid ass.
No, it's the middle of April and it's bizarre. We'll get to that next on The Fan. All right, welcome back. It's hour 2 here on Titillating Topic Tuesday. Our next topic in a moment. First day follow-up. Did you see Rory McIlroy? You know, when he fell to his knees after winning the Masters on 18 and he was crying? There's an iconic photo of that moment. Did you see that?
I've seen several photos, yes.
There's an iconic photo of him. Because, you know, the Phil Mickelson doing the awkward white guy jump when he won, you know, that it's iconic. And
Elon Musk, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good call.
Rory, so there's all these iconic Masters photos. Rory down on the ground, bawling his eyes out is one of them now.
Yeah.
Did you see that Ken Griffey Jr. took that photo?
Yeah, I saw that he took one. There's like 50 of those photos.
There
but
are.
One of them is...
But I mean, a lot of it's about the lighting and, you know, I don't know. Is there one that's official? I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Well, Griffey's is a little bit tighter and closer and like more detailed. There's some wider shot ones that you see the whole gallery and everything, but Griffey's is like a really good of like capturing like the side profile.
I did see early on in the tournament that it had gone around that Griffey had become a photographer and that he was accredited and was there at Augusta.
He was there.
Yeah.
And he took that photo.
I think Randy Johnson did that too. Randy Johnson was a professional photographer that I think works some Major League Baseball games and stuff.
He's been on the NFL sidelines too.
Yeah.
I saw someone say that 97 Mariners team had some of the best photographers in baseball history.
Well, then why doesn't Edgar do it?
He's busy being a hitting coach for the high-powered Seattle Mariners.
Maybe that can keep
offense.
Ichiro busy.
I don't think that's going to work.
You know?
No.
Get the bone dog out there.
Deal asks on the fan text line, what's harder to buy, a green jacket or an Oscar? Technically, you rent an Oscar for $1, and if you try and sell yours, the Academy takes it back.
Really?
Yeah, I've always heard that the Oscars, they protect, like you can't just sell your Oscar.
I know, because like Judy Garland's Oscar, I think, went for sale.
Did it?
I think so.
But my answer to that question would be certainly it would be harder to acquire a green jacket. There are only 54 green jackets.
Well, that's not true because the members have some of them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, it depends. Are you talking about Masters green jacket or just Augusta National green jacket?
Yeah, because those are two different things. Like the one that was sold for $139, it doesn't sound like that was a winner's jacket.
Right, it was a member's jacket.
A member's jacket.
There have been 54 Masters winners.
So that would the Augusta one's harder to get. I mean,
because there's fewer.
There's a million Academy Awards, and some of those Academy Awards no one gives to. No offense to, but like when you win the 1954 Oscar for, you know, I don't know, sound editing. Come on, that's not the same thing as winning a green jacket.
If I gave you 1 year, and told you that at the end of that year you have to produce a green jacket, a Masters winner green jacket, here on the program, or we're killing you.
Yeah.
But if you do, you'll be a billionaire.
I'm gonna do it because I don't want to die.
Yeah, but okay. Oh wait, what?
Well,
no, you don't have to take the challenge.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, so you can just pass?
Yeah, I'll just
pass.
pass.
You can pass
or play.
But I'll tell you, if my life was on the line, or like,
could you get one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a better question. Your life's on the line.
100%.
You're bringing a green jacket in here?
Yes.
I do think Suk could get one. I think he hunkers down in Augusta.
Yeah.
You figure out who the members are.
Yeah.
You start like. You know, some of those guys have drinking problems. Like, just you go to a bar.
That's
Suk's a barman.
true.
You strike up the conversation there.
You start
get
making
close
some,
enough.
you
Someone
start
gets sloppy.
making some serious
He's got
threats.
this.
Maybe you have to break a finger. Look, it's going to get ugly. I'm probably having to threaten someone's
so you're going
wife.
straight to violence, huh?
100%.
Well, I think Suk could get there befriending and then overtaking by force once he got close enough.
Like these people that I'll have them have so much money that there's nothing I can offer them in any sort of incentive. My incentive will be, I know where you live, and I am going to look at me.
I like my plan better.
You get some tall, old, rich guy, and now we're hunkered up at a bar, and now I drag him into the back, and I'm probably holding a hand. We're breaking a finger or two. I take a photo of his kid, and I'm like, I know where this is going. I need that green jacket, and I need it now. And I'll be waiting, and yeah, I think I could get one.
Yeah. See, you've seen too many movies, because you know who comes out of the other back room?
What?
And then puts a gun to your head? Freaking, who's the guy in Mobland?
Oh, I haven't seen Mobland yet.
Oh,
you talking about Tom Hardy? Or
yeah, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's in it?
Yeah, because you know old rich white guy in the bar there? Yeah, he's got more resources than you. You're dead.
Nah. Those
You ain't
guys,
shaking one of those guys down. They've seen the likes of you.
I think you just picked the right one to get liquored up and make a bad decision
Yeah, I
by
think-
letting you borrow it.
Yeah, Buck's on the right track
dude,
there.
when you have someone and you're causing a severe amount of pain, I think I can get that done. I'm not saying I'd want to.
That's what those guys do for a living.
I don't think they are.
They put people's heads in vices and make billions.
No,
That's what they do.
Those people there are not mob bosses. That dude's just some hedge fund douche.
Yeah, your propensity for violence is going to get you killed in this.
What other
exercise.
way do I have to go?
Did you not hear our producer?
There's no way. There's no way. I'm offering that there's only one way I'm getting that green jacket, and that is through sheer
I think
violence.
The real question is where are the green jacket? Like, where do they keep them?
Guess just a locker room.
Well, okay, but are they on
the members
display?
have lockers, right?
Yeah.
The members do have lockers.
I
so
bet
do the
they
players.
just go in there probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm guessing they have some sort of display.
No.
I mean, wouldn't the ones from an official one from the Masters being on display?
Because it
enough?
says when you, I read a thing and it was like when you win a green jacket, you get more than just the green jacket, right? You get access to. There's
You
a
get
bunch of
free
different
golf
stuff.
tees.
Huh?
Free golf tees.
Free golf tees. You do
Free golf tees for life.
Do you know that if you go to play the Masters, you cannot hit on the members' range?
Where's the members range?
There is a members only driving range
Where's that?
and warm up area. I don't know.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I guess it's tucked away. And so if you are like Dustin Johnson cannot go hit on that, but Tiger Woods can. So you get access to that.
Wait, they
Well,
both won
Dustin
the
Johnson
Masters.
won the
Oh,
Masters.
well then never mind. He does do that. You know what I mean?
Russell Hoygaard or Rodney Hoygaard or whatever.
Yes.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Rodney.
So yeah, there's all kinds of weird little stuff, and one of them is you do get your own locker at Augusta National, and I would assume
Rasmus.
that your jacket is
Rasmus.
probably hanging in your locker. And so that dude, I'm telling you, you have to wait. You're not going after one of the players, right? You're finding one of the dudes that's milling around. I find what car's his. I'm waiting in the back of the car, and then he has a choice to make at the end of that. Would you like your family to meet an untimely end, or I need you to
Dude.
produce a green jacket?
You're playing his game, and he is going to absolutely slaughter you at that game.
Dude, you are giving way too much credit to boring rich old guys that are at Augusta National.
Yeah, not those guys.
Now,
though.
Pine Valley, I don't think I want to try that because I think Pine Valley's probably got Tony Soprano in it. I think Augusta National is just boring old rich white guy.
Some guy says Fred Ridley would be at next year's Masters with a fake Chubb's hand because Suk took it to get a green jacket.
Well, if you told me my life was on the line, or like you said, it's my family, right? Someone's got my kid.
I said you.
Someone's got, exactly. If it is my life and you're about to make my kids an orphan, or it's some old rich guy's ass that I got to take a hunk out of, guess what? We're going down.
I think you got to be more clever.
Well, we'll find out what happens when I cut a finger off how much he wants that green jacket. You don't think I'll take a pair of pruning shears to you? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting dirty.
Again, Tom Hardy comes in and just offs you before you even know it. He's got people.
I told you dumb bitch.
All right, up next, what's up with the middle of April? Next on The Fan.
Oregon Ducks football.
looked at the Oscar thing, and Judy Garland's did sell. Caveat: so the Oscar agreement is in place. You cannot sell your Oscar.
Okay.
The Academy has the right to buy it back for $1, and that even goes to if you hand it to someone else, and they will sue you. And they have blocked all kinds of sales of Oscars.
What if I give it to someone?
It doesn't matter. The agreement still transfers over. Whoever owns the Oscar, you cannot sell one. But that is post 1951. The agreement was signed in 1951. So Judy Garland's the Oscar was pre 1951. So they have tried to the Academy sues whenever those come up, but those have been sold. Judy Garland's was valued at $3 million. So there have been some that try to sell it, but the Academy always sues, and it ends up being a hard thing to do. So basically now, if you want to buy one, it's all black market. And they say that it can go anywhere from 500,000 to a couple million.
Whoa.
But it is all done behind the scenes. You cannot.
So I can get an Oscar?
Yes.
Like somebody.
It has to be done behind closed doors.
Okay. So they're not like Augusta National where they're go looking for me.
Well,
like the Academy.
If you made it publicly, they will. It sounds like the Academy absolutely will sue.
Yeah,
and
but
will
I mean,
block.
if there's one on the black market,
No, they
is the
can't.
Academy doing some homework on whose that is? You can
Doesn't-
probably figure out whose it is.
It doesn't sound like it. I mean, but I was just reading through this article, and it said they have gone through a lot to try to prevent the sale of these Oscars. But they did say there is a robust black market scene out there for it. Pre-1951, they still try to block them, but those usually you can usually find a way to get those legally. But anything beyond that, no, you got to know someone, and you have to do the deal in the back.
Okay. Well, now we're at this awkward spot where we're out of time for my next thing.
Well, we got into Oscars and green jackets.
But
Sounds like it's easier to get an Oscar.
we could do it, but I don't think we should.
No, we should not.
I think you're right. We'll save it for the club. It's all the things that have occurred in the middle of April. It's really kind of wild. They call it killing season.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Everybody's dying?
well, we'll get to it in the club. See, now you're going to have to wait.
Oh, okay.
It's your own fault.
That's called a tease.
Well,
Yeah.
I was trying to do some research on the Oscars for you. And by the way, to your point, I went to a charity dinner last year.
Mhm.
I was at the Maurice Lucas Foundation dinner, and I sat with a guy who was a member at Augusta National. He was a car dealer out of Florida. He was a member, and I was bummed because I thought he was on my team. Turned out he just flew in for the dinner on his private plane and left. He didn't play. And that guy does not have Tom Hardy. He's
Well,
just
like
a
I
car,
said, I'm just telling
he's just
you.
a car guy.
You can fight me all you want on
That's
this.
you
I'm telling
could
you.
get that guy.
I don't think. Well, maybe you could get that guy, but you mess with the wrong member.
Yes.
You're getting Tom Hardy. Like, I just don't think violence is the. You always go to violence. You can't go to violence. You got to be smarter than that. You got to go. You got to weasel your way in somehow.
I think putting a gun to someone's head is I think that's
Yes,
the easiest way.
Yeah, I think your brains are going to get splattered all over the wall.
Yeah, I think you just go
Augusta
party
National.
mode and you be bar buddy and you introduce some seedy places and then you get them in an uncomfortable spot. And
So blackmail. So
No,
I gotta,
Someone said
just
dry
to the
cleaner.
point they're making bad decisions, you know?
well, that thing's not going to a dry
Yeah,
cleaner.
exactly. Like they're protecting that. They're not going to
Look,
let.
you got one of because no one is risking their membership on you. So you got one of two things: compromising photos with that guy, and you go blackmail,
Well, you're thinking better.
or you cut off a finger. I think those
Or
are your
get him
only-
drunk enough to like let you borrow it.
I think you got to get him drunk enough, and then you got to take photos of him doing something really, really bad, and be like, "These are about to go public, unless."
Yeah, extortion maybe a little better than violence, maybe.
Well,
Which-
a lot of
is
them
that
are
better?
A lot of them are old. Maybe hit up one of the wives on Facebook with one of those
Fishing schemes.
yeah, like phishing schemes. Make her fall in love with you, and in
Convince some
order to
old
get
lady-
you out of the hospital, you have to give her a green jacket.
What if I
Or
convinced a really
wait.
old lady that I was the devil?
She has to
one of
give you a green jacket.
one of those sorts of things. I'm the devil, and your husband's going to hell unless It's like a devil went down to Georgia situation, but instead of a golden fiddle, I get a green jacket.
What if you go take the player aptitude test or whatever they call it, and you get your card as a PGA tour, PGA Pro, not a tour member, but like a
pro,
a guy who can give lessons and stuff, and then you just get the job at Augusta National.
Oh, there you go.
Just do that.
Or I could just become like the CEO of like AT&T and get a free membership.
There's another,
janitor for the clubhouse.
Start climbing. I got to start working for AT&T right now. Stat.
Perhaps you could say you're gay, and they are really in need of a gay insurrectionist.
I'm gay.
At the Masters.
Think they're into the Bears, are they?
Because they have to cover all their bases, and that's one they haven't covered yet. And you'd be the guy.
Yeah, because they seem so inclusive. they seem so welcoming to different lifestyles. I'm not sure that's working. Google me, bitch.
All right, well, we'll get to the middle of April topic here on Titillating Topic Tuesday, coming up tonight at 6. But right now, it is time for In the News, guys. I've got some info coming in on the missing kayaker down there. And there's also, I got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to tell you about the Pitbull situation in Seattle. What would your mic's not even on, but it's okay. You don't need it on.
Yeah, I thought we were going to break.
Yeah, I know. But everything you've said for the last 30 seconds, no one heard. Except for me, which I
said one thing.
I heard a nice faint echo.
Oh, did you? I heard racist commentary. So luckily.
Look over here.
Also, what would you do in this hairy Pitbull situation? So that's coming up next. Here's Buck.
They're eating the dogs.
Now, from the George McCoy at War. Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on the Fan, the NBA playoff play-in starts this evening. In just a matter of moments, the Eastern Conference play-in game will start between the Atlanta Hawks and Orlando Magic. The winner will take on the 2-seed Celtics in the first round. Tip-off from Orlando just moments away. The Magic are 5.5-point favorites. In the late game, John Morant and the Grizzlies in the Bay Area taking on Steph Curry and the Warriors. Moses Moody, a game-time decision for Golden State with the winner of this one getting the Rockets in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. Tip-off from Chase Center at 7 o'clock. The Warriors favored by 7. Elsewhere in the association, Damian Lillard will miss the start of the postseason for Milwaukee due to the blood clot in his right calf. His condition has improved, but he's yet to be cleared by team doctors. And the Mariners opening a 9-game road trip in Cincinnati, off to a good start as Dylan Moore with a leadoff homer in that one. They still lead at 2-0 in the bottom of the third. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Save the date. Your local Toyota dealers present the 11th annual Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club on Tuesday, June 24th. Keep it on the Fan for details.
Well, this is normally where me and Ropp would tell you about the Advocates, but Ropp has left. So here's what I'm going to do. Say Isaac Ropp has to go on one of his many pee breaks, and while on his way to the bathroom, because
I had to squirt.
He's sprinting because, again, he has to squirt. So he's running through there. You just happen to be walking through the office minding your own business, and Rob goes plowing through, trucks you, go down. Blindsided, Terry Tate style. You got a broken collarbone now, maybe a case of turf toe. Next thing you know, you're getting checked for a concussion. Meanwhile, Rob's living high on the hog out there at Langdon Farms doing whatever the hell Isaac Ropp does. And who's going to take care of you, Ryan Buckley? Who is going to take care of your injuries?
Not Isaac Ropp.
Exactly.
It'll be the Advocates.
And certainly not the Odyssey Insurance Company. I promise you that. There's only one person you need to call.
Oh, dear.
Or one group of people when Isaac Ropp has injured you going to the bathroom. And that is the Advocates. Ken, Donnie, or maybe you've been hurt in a different sort of scenario. Either way, if you've been injured by Ropp or by someone else, only one place you need to go.
Hey, I just trucked Linda in the hallway.
I knew it. Well, hopefully she doesn't know about the Advocates. Otherwise, you're going to pay. So it's free to call them. It's free to hire them. They don't get paid until you get paid. And to be honest with you, they really are just good people that have your best interest at heart. And if they can't help you, they'll tell you that too. So what do you got to lose? If you've been injured and you're thinking, hey, do I need to call someone? Do it. Go to advocateslaw.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a health
right, it is April 15, 2025. It is time now for In the News. I am your noted and humble newsman. Hello, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be seated. Honk your horn if you're horny.
Little Flash Tuesday action. Tom Likas.
Today is tax day.
Yeah, God.
Don't get too excited
It's
about it.
awesome when I have to pay more money to the
Taxes.
government. It's cool. I love it. It
Have
wasn't that bad
Have you
this
filed
year.
your tax return this year?
Yeah, like ended up like $200, something like that. About broke even.
Oof. Lucky you.
Yeah, it sucks.
There's also Jackie Robinson Day.
Yeah, he broke the color barrier, and I saw Tim Kurtzen called it the most important day in baseball history.
The day racism died, right, Jace?
I don't think so. Some may say the day it got worse, but you know he endured it, and I mean he changed the game forever.
Well, as someone put it on Twitter, I'm sure Jackie Robinson once dreamed of one day being honored with a 42% parlay boost. Because that's what you get at DraftKings
It's
right
a real
now.
thing happening today.
God, well, those DraftKings guys.
To honor Jackie's legacy.
Info on the missing kayaker who went over Willamette Falls.
Guessing it's not good news.
Well, they're now saying that there was a 911 call from a person living at a homeless camp along the Willamette River that alerted authorities about the kayaker struggling against the current near Willamette Falls on Saturday night.
So we just had someone being like, hey, there's a dude in trouble. So now we know he was in trouble before he got in trouble.
Well, we just know the deets now.
Mm-hmm.
And the deets are that the caller said that they were struggling. They were describing the kayaker was struggling. They were describing him paddling and struggling, and then describing him as going over the falls. But they said that he jumped out of. So he's a 20-year-old kid, by the way, from California, is the kayaker. He said that
he jumped out of the canoe.
He jumped out and he started swimming.
Guessing that's not a good idea.
And then the witness said that the kayak, they saw the kayak go over the falls, and then they saw him go over the falls as well. And after that, of course, there were no other sightings.
No. So again, that's.
He said that the kayaker likely did not know about the falls when he put in around 10 p.m. From a floating home community where he was vacationing with his family. So he was less than a mile upstream from the falls. The family said, or at least, I think it was the family that said, he is not an experienced kayaker. They have no idea why he put in at 10 p.m. at night.
Wow.
He did not know his surroundings. He did not know there was a waterfall just a mile down the way. They said he had kayaked maybe a few times on a lake, but never on this river or a river. And,
Unfortunately, this seems like a 100% preventable tragedy, and this is user error.
Yeah.
The idea of getting on a river you don't know at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
When you're not really a kayaker. I'm not going to say that's dying when like those guys died looking for Bigfoot, but it's up there. By the way, how about the homeless camp, bro?
Yeah. Coming through.
Who knew that the homeless had cell phones?
I know, right? That was my first thought. Like, nice iPhone, dude. Who's paying that plan?
Well, maybe it's a Razor phone. I don't know. Maybe
Burner?
they're using...
Saving money. He doesn't have a mortgage, so
Yeah.
saving money there.
I mean, I guess everyone needs a cell phone nowadays, including the homeless.
Oops. Here's a wild story for you.
Talk to me. That's kind of a wild story unto itself.
This is... Yeah, that's a tragic story.
Yeah.
This is
easily preventable.
This is in Oregon, but it's an Oklahoma man who fled from officers after using an AR-15 to shoot at a deer out of a black Mustang while driving 117 miles per hour.
Oh, my God.
What?
Justin Franklin is 36. He was arrested and charged with fleeing, reckless driving, reckless endangerment, hit and run, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. 2 passengers in the vehicle, including his son, were also taken into custody after fleeing the scene.
Good Lord.
They also have a big old bag of meth, or feels like drugs would be involved. Brick of cocaine, maybe.
I would assume. I'm guessing.
117 AR out of the Mustang. I mean,
I am saying that just in general. That's just sounds like a terrible idea.
So
Did they hit anything?
Deputies said they were on a call for an unrelated disturbance when the Mustang passed them at 117 miles per hour, traveling in the opposite direction towards Albany. passing vehicles in no passing zones and driving recklessly. Deputies turned around to locate the vehicle but lost sight soon after. During their search, dispatch received additional calls about the Mustang to include a hit and run where the Mustang sideswiped a Mercedes and continued to leave the area. Officials say that the three men then fled from the car after the owner of the Mercedes located the Mustang in a driveway on Goldfish Farm Road near Albany. Franklin's son surrendered without incident, while Franklin and other passengers were located in a nearby field. Nice try. Go hide in a field.
I had to go out and lay down.
While the other passengers surrendered, authorities say Franklin refused to cooperate, so they sicked the dog on him.
Yeah. Boy,
He got the canine.
I got a real good idea of
That's a wild story.
You know, we were talking earlier about the sort of fellow that wears a wife beater as his outside shirt. Something tells me this.
Is that Mr. Franklin?
Yeah, something tells me there's a real wife beater quality about it.
These people are crazy.
I'm also
There's something
guessing
wrong with them.
That Mustang, I'm going to say 1992. Just throwing that out there. I don't think that's a 2025.
I did picture an older one myself in my head.
But it's not a cool older one. No, this is...
It's like a 98 GT or something like that.
Like late 80s, early 90s. Something like that.
But I mean, an AR-15 going 117 shooting at deer? God.
Seems like a good idea. About as good idea as, hey, the cops are looking for us. I know. Let's park in our driveway and then go lay in a field. Jeez. Albany, what are you going to do, huh?
Coming up next, I'll tell you about this Pitbull lady in Seattle. And the question is, what would you do in this scenario? It's a very hairy scenario.
Can I have my AR? Because I got a good idea what I would do in that
if you walk around with an AR,
yeah,
you would have it.
Maybe I should start.
That's next on The Fan.
This is The Fan's Window into Sports, a view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
It is a deep contusion to his left knee, to the area of his left quad there. He is going to go through treatment, significant treatment yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
That's what
Brian
Windhorst
Windhorst
talking about playoff Jimmy.
Isn't it Windhurst now?
Is it Windhorst?
That's what I just said.
Playoff Jimmy.
It used to be Windhorst.
He's going to be fine. They said he's a full go.
Yeah, he changed it from Windhorst to Windhurst. That's the real story here. What is that about?
Huh.
Or were we always pronouncing it wrong?
It's possible. I would like to be known as Suckanic now instead of
Suckanic.
Yeah.
Window into Sports brought to you by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free. Pay nothing until 2027 right now at Window Nation. They'll also give you a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
I'm Dirt. You're already deficient offensive. Why would you not bring Anthony Simons back? You need a shot creator, do you not? You probably do. And so if you're leaning defense, I'm gearing myself
On 1080 The Fan.
This is in the news, April 15, 2025. Your noted newsman here. Thank you. Now to Seattle, Primetime Seattle, where we have a story of a Pitbull attack.
Shocking.
Multiple Pitbull attacks.
Yeah.
Seattle police have arrested a 30-year-old woman for letting her Pitbull attack other people's pets. This was on Friday. A viral post on Reddit shows video of one of the attacks.
Yeah,
They're eating the pets.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, well, the dog's not on the leash.
Nope.
So there's a woman screaming as she tries to keep her dog away from the pit bull. It's a bigger dog, but that dog's on the leash.
Yeah.
And then you can also see a person matching the description of the suspect in the video where she's just standing there.
Yep.
She does nothing. Police report the owner of the pit bull is a woman by the name of Sydney Kelly. Now, Sydney is, like I said, 30. Eventually, she said that the pit bull is not a dog. Rather, it is chupacabra.
And let him do his thing.
Well, and that's the other one is a witness said that when the dog, someone said, "Are you going to do anything about your dog?" She said, "No, I'm just going to let her do its thing, or let him do its thing."
I'm watching the video, and a couple times she grabs the pit bull. They're separated, and then she lets it go, and like this is 3 times. She grabs the dog, separates it, and then as the lady's trying to get her dog out of there, crossing the street, she lets the pit bull go again, and the dog chases the lady. It's nightmare stuff.
Yeah. And she said, as her dog was attacking, let him do his thing, and then she would try to stop other people from breaking up the doggy fights.
Yes.
So the dog, luckily, did not kill any other dogs.
Yeah.
So,
but one of them, at least, was seriously injured and was taken to an animal hospital.
Yeah. So they arrested the bitch.
Good.
That's pretty wild, man.
Well, and unfortunately, the dog just needs to be put down because that dog isn't going to be saved. That dog is, and it's not the dog's fault, but that dog is not meant for society.
I mean, that's pretty brazen, though.
It's, clearly this lady's got mental issues, but
crazy.
Don't get me started on pit bulls, and spare me they're great pets, and it's how people raise them. I don't give a damn. It's always a pit bull, and it's always a horse crap owner. I just have no tolerance for it whatsoever. Drives me effing crazy.
Oftentimes we don't see the progress of things, you know?
Yeah.
But perhaps this right here is the definition. Did you see in Portland, the Portland police had a standoff with a man in Northwest. This was just last night.
Yeah, for like 4 hours, right?
Yeah, and he had a knife.
Yeah.
He looked like Charles Manson. He had no shirt and like nurse pants on.
Yeah.
Scrubs. And
they didn't shoot him.
They did not kill him.
No.
And there is video of a woman just sitting at a nearby pizza parlor filming the whole damn thing, and that guy running from the cops armed with a knife.
Yeah.
They did not shoot him,
No.
which is good because there was a lot of people around.
Sure.
But, like I said, we don't always see actual progress.
Yeah.
Isn't that progress?
I would think so.
Because their guns were drawn on this guy, and he ran from them.
Because you do have to. In defense of police, people always say, the guy's got a knife, why do you have to shoot him? Well, because tasers don't always stop someone right away, especially if the person's all messed up. And it's not up to that cop to determine whether or not he thinks his taser is going to stop someone from shoving a knife into his chest.
Yeah.
But luckily, the guy, as crazy as he was, the guy didn't charge the cops with the knife, which is probably why he
just ran.
He just ran.
Yeah. And
So-
they have video of him sitting at the pizza place then,
Yes.
and other people just like talking to him.
Yeah.
Very Portland-y thing.
Well, that's a terrifying thing, man. You're sitting there trying to get a slice. You got a little hot lips or whatever going on, whatever is your local flavor. Trying to get some sausage and cheese. And I got, first off, if you're wearing Scrubs' pants, it's a good sign you're insane. No shirt, definitely
maybe
insane.
he just got off his shift.
And then you're just, you got a knife? Yeah, that's some scary stuff.
All he's missing is the wife beater.
Which is crazier, wife beater and Scrubs or no shirt Scrubs?
Oh, probably no shirt and Scrubs.
Did he have shoes on?
Ooh,
they have some shoes.
No, I can't tell.
Jordan 4s.
They did say that they used a stun gun and less lethal munitions against him, but
it didn't work.
Neither were effective.
Well, again, because he's clearly insane.
He then sprayed the officers with pepper spray and he lunged at them with the knife. See,
I can't believe
I'm
not
stunned
dead.
that he's not shot.
Seriously.
And then as he's running, you can see in the video, there's a woman with a like right on cue, like right from the movies, a woman with a baby stroller.
Oh.
who just kind of zips out of the way.
Yikes. That's rough, man.
It was
You
nuts.
pepper spray the cops and then you lunge at them with a knife. Chances are you probably should have gotten some leticillin.
We'll execute the baby.
So good for the cops for having some restraint. They would have been well within their rights, I'm guessing, to shoot this dip-ass.
The police kept yelling. This is from Callie Nichols was in town. Did you know that?
Callie.
You know Callie. She's from Seattle.
Don't know Callie.
Her and her partner were down here tootling around Portland, and she said, the police kept yelling, if you don't drop this knife, we're going to shoot you. If you don't drop this knife, we're going to shoot you. Yeah. And so he was backed up against a wall, terrified, and the police came out with rubber bullets. I think they had already tased him at that time, but they shot at a rubber bullet, and it shot the glass behind him. That was the bus stop that they showed. Video obtained by KATU from witness showed officers firing some sort of device toward the person as he screamed and ran towards Scotty's Pizza Parlor.
Did they end up getting him?
Yeah, he just sat down right in front of Scotty's, and they corralled him there.
Nice.
People who were sitting outside of the restaurant could be seen running from their seats.
I bet.
Police evacuated businesses and escorted people out of the area during the shelter-in-place order.
You know what we need, which I've said all along? I want one in my own personal life. We need more net guns. If the 80s have taught me anything, why aren't we using net guns?
Well, we just need Spider-Man.
Exactly. But have you seen someone get net gunned? It's awesome.
It happened all the time back in Bond movies, and we need to bring it back.
What are we doing? You see like the safaris, like some leopards out there? What do? We net gun it. I got some crazy dude in hospital pants out there with a knife. Hey.
You're being chased by like a band of ninjas. Net gun.
Net gun. Hello. I mean, this technology has been around since the 1980s. What are we doing?
So this is weird to me. Okay, so see if you can explain what happens next.
Talk to me.
So the guy runs. He's still got the knife. He runs over to Scotty's Pizza, owned by Scotty Scheffler, who was in there with his green jacket.
To check out Scotty's Pizza. I've never been.
I don't know. I've never been either. Officers back away from him, and then community members go check on the suspect, and they give him food and money.
What?
Yes.
Money?
Who
yes,
gave
they
him
gave
food and money?
People. Peeps.
4.4 stars, by the way, on Google.
Is that good?
Hell yeah, that's good pizza.
4.5. I don't. Looking here, it looks like a, it looks like a classic slice. They gave him food and money.
So why did the officers back away? And then why did? Well, I guess I know why the people of Portland came to his aid, because I saw a woman on the news that was like, "Oh, don't shoot him! Don't shoot him!"
Oof.
You know how it is.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay.
Well, he had a knife and
right.
Pepper spray.
But anyway, those are the people that gave him food and money. And then they said, as the suspect is known to officers, a plan will be developed to take him into custody at a later date. What does that mean?
He's a known homeless person.
I have concepts of a plan.
Yeah, but I
guy's-
guess maybe he didn't commit a crime then. Is that right?
Did he lunged at the
Charged
officers
the cops
and
with a knife. That
sprayed
is a
them.
crime.
All right. So well, then why would they do it that? Why do they handle it this way?
I don't
That is the most Portland way of handling
All right, so
that situation ever.
My man's nuts. He lunges at cops with a knife. He pepper sprays them, and then people think I'm going to give him some pizza and money, and then the cops like, "Oh, we'll pick him up later."
That's
put him in jail.
that's pretty much what it says here.
I want to say it was like,
And we wonder why people don't want to run around Portland.
well, it was like 2 years ago. I was leaving the show, and our old boss Kim sent me a message like 5-10 minutes before we got off the air, and she says, "Hey, when you leave the office, can you come out the back way?" I was like, "Yeah." So apparently, they were been drinking after work, a handful of the ladies back there.
No way.
There was a naked guy out in the parking lot that was running around chasing people with like a big stick.
Nice.
And so no one wanted to go out to their car because there was a naked guy.
I've never seen so much dong in my life.
And I was like, well, why didn't you call the cops?
Was
And
he
they're
hot?
like, we did. And the cops said, oh, we know that guy. He's not a problem. We'll be there later. Would I have to lay on the naked guy the entire flight?
I guess it's true. It's like, you take these guys in, and it's just that vicious cycle of they're going to be right back out.
And so I'm like, when did you call the cops? And they're like, we called them like 35, 45 minutes ago. And I was like, well, where do I come in? They're like, we want you to walk. So now I had to walk everyone to their car, and I had to deal with the naked guy. This is the naked dude out in the parking lot with a big stick. And I like to know that the police are like, he's harmless. Oh, I didn't How am I supposed to? He's naked, and he's yelling at you, and he's got a big stick.
That was like the guy who used to use like our front entryway as a restroom, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Reggie." We're like, "Oh, so you know him? Great. Can he stop pooping on our stoop?"
Yeah.
The answer to that is no. You cannot.
Apparently not.
And we will not help.
I just thought that was it made me think of that when the cops were like, "Yeah, he's fine." Like he's not going to do anything
don't
to
worry
you.
about it.
Yeah, because that's what we need. Is we
Nah.
need like 5 ladies walking to their car in the dark and be like, "Who's that?" It's just the naked dude in the parking lot. He's fine. They said, they're like, "Police said it's A-OK."
Wild times. In the News is brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. The Hot 5 at 5 is next on The Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every
At Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the NBA playoff play-in officially underway. The Orlando Magic hosting the Atlanta Hawks tonight. They are through one quarter. The Magic with the early lead, 32-17. Paolo Banchero with 7 to lead Orlando. The winner of this game gets the 2-seed Boston Celtics in the next round. Meanwhile, coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, the Warriors host the Grizzlies in the other play-in. The winner of that one getting the 7-seed and facing the 2-seed Rockets out in the West. That'll be at 7 o'clock on TNT. The Warriors are favored by 7. Elsewhere in the association, Damian Lillard not going to be ready for the start of the playoffs with the Milwaukee Bucks due to that blood clot in his right calf. His condition has improved, but he's yet to be cleared by team doctors. And the Mariners this afternoon starting a 9-game road trip in Cincinnati. They jumped out to an early lead with a Dylan Moore leadoff home run. Cincinnati tied it up in the 3rd, but Moore has now gone yard again, his 2nd of the game. They're up 4-2 in the top of the 5th. Moore has all 4 RBI for Seattle. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is your home for year-round NFL coverage. Portland sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
Good afternoon. At the tone, Pacific Daylight Time will be...
It's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
One step closer to my own personal hell.
This is Primetime on Sports Radio 1080 The Fan.
We expect the best. We're not afraid to break someone. Do you hear me?
Primetime is your source for the best in local, regional, and national sports.
Go ahead and clap. Mediocrity deserves applause.
Isaac Robb.
I'm miserable. I had to get up at 10 o'clock this morning.
Jason Sakanik.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Primetime on 1080 The Fan.
All right. Welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Tuesday. It is Titillating Topic Tuesday here on The Fan.
I'm ready to be titillated.
I'm going to show you my boobs. Yeah, so far we've not had titillating topics. Take off your shirt and
What
throw
you're
me.
talking about the Masters conversation was very.
Guess what?
What?
That's about to change. Because up next, was it unprofessional or harmless?
Yeah, taking some heat for this one.
We will learn about Wiley Ballard. I am Rob. Big Sook's right over there.
Right here.
And there's Ryan Buckley, everybody.
No, that's Will Lutz.
Halfway home on his home run parlay.
That's right, the primetime parlay.
You did it again?
I did.
Today?
Well, I got Bobby yesterday, and so I'm like, let's run this thing back, try it again. I got Pete tonight. If I get a Bobby one, we getting paid.
Yeah, Polar Bear went yard in the 1st.
So Buck is betting, he's betting a primetime parlay of Bobby Witt, my favorite player, to hit a home run.
Yes.
And Pete Alonso,
He's my favorite man.
He's your favorite man?
Yes.
Your favorite player to hit a home run on the same night. He bet on it last night. Witt did.
Yeah.
Alonso didn't. And tonight, Alonso has and Witt hasn't.
Now we're waiting on Bobby.
We're waiting on him.
But he said one pays for the other, so.
Because I also bet him individually, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the bet count is per month in Buckley's account?
A lot.
No, I mean, seriously, give me a number. Because I feel like he bets on everything.
I will say this, Buckley, doing this show and being around gamblers.
And I mean everything.
I don't know if I've met someone in my day-to-day that bets, not the amount, because you bet very conservatively, but I've never met anyone that bets the sheer volume.
That's right.
He's a volume better.
You are a volume better.
A volume shooter.
Yeah. Got to get out there, shoot your
Can
shot,
you
man.
give us a number? Like, could you do that? Could you go back? And...
Maybe. I could probably find out. I haven't tried.
So for a month, let's just say
March,
because he had March Madness.
Sure.
You had some golf.
I'll bet you that is
golf bets.
I'll bet you it's in the hundreds.
Basketball bets, NBA, I mean.
Hundreds.
WNBA.
I mean, all the first-round leader golf bets.
Major League Baseball bets.
That's 10 a week just in first-round
Well,
leader
that was
golf
like,
bets.
when I did the Masters first round leaders, I picked 3. And I actually had 2. I got 3 because of one of Buckley's. How many did you have?
11.
Yeah.
He has 11 every time.
Well, usually it's 10, but I couldn't decide between my 10th, and so I went with 11.
And I love it. I love it.
Hey, it's paid off for him.
I love the idea that it just the primetime parlay, that you just keep it going.
It kind of came up yesterday because there was absolutely nothing to bet on, and I was like, what do I do to feed my boredom?
Even though there was nothing to bet on, you came up with your own primetime parlay.
The Polar Bobby parlay!
Hey, I love it. I kind of want to get on board now when the Mets and Royals are going to play on the same day. I kind of like this primetime
same
parlay.
game Polar Bobby parlay. That's nice.
He loves the idea of that. Something tells me he'll be betting on it.
Yeah. Good times.
Well, coming up tonight in the club, we'll get to what the hell's going on with the middle of April. It's killing season. We have a cautionary tale of how things can spiral when you get old, and this would be the Gene Hackman edition.
Yeah. You see, they did a. Did you see the 60 Minutes piece on it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, 60 Minutes.
Yes or no?
Yeah, they did the final days on.
I've read about it, and it's not good.
No, it's all kinds of bad.
It's not good.
Yeah.
But right now, it's the Hot 5 at 5.
Hot topics, hot opinions,
Oh, golly, I'm hot today.
and hot air. It's time for the Hot 5 at 5.
That's hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 on Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
No, I mean it. That's very hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 with Isaac and Sue. Brought to you on The Fan by Victorico's Mexican Food. Discover Victorico's new savory menu items. Order in store, online, or get it delivered straight to your door at victoricos.com. Number 5.
Well, Nico, I'm gonna leave ya. We hardly knew ye. He is out at Tennessee. Now, yesterday we learned that he's the quarterback. Nika Iamaleava. First, we learned yesterday that North Carolina was out in terms of going after him. And now we've learned today that Tulane is the latest school to pull out of the Nico portal sweepstakes.
And when the Green Wave don't want you, what do you have left?
They're saying that really the only offer out there right now, and it's nowhere near what they're asking for, is UCLA. And I also saw a report today, it was Pete Thamel that had it, said that there is now an idea that there are teams interested, and they're saying $1 million, and they're just waiting to, he doesn't have any offers right now. He gave up $2.5 million to try to shoot for 4, and he may end up having to settle for 1. They said at $1 million, you will get teams that bought back into this, but he has become, and his father is the problem, that no one wants to deal with his father and the family, and they're just like, no, man, we're not putting up with this for mediocre production. Good move, Nico's dad.
Number 4.
Jackass.
A little bit of a miscalculation, it seems.
Yep.
The college football transfer portal has opened yet again. Now we have Cal running back Jaden Ott entering as a graduate transfer.
That one kind of stinks a little bit because he had turned down a lot of offers to leave Cal and was thought to be a Cal guy through and through. But I get it. A lot of money last year.
So he has chosen Oklahoma. He will join John Mateer there.
It's a nice little duo.
Kind of dynamic.
Yeah, Mateer transferring over from Washington State. Ott led the Pac-12 in rushing in 2023. He has the third most all-purpose yards of any FBS back set to return.
I'm a little surprised that he didn't test the NFL waters. There's only so many miles on your body when you're a running back. But, I mean, it's a deep running back class, so maybe...
Is he a little undersized?
Yeah, I don't know what his whole prospect is. Maybe he didn't get like I said, it's a deep class, and maybe he thought there was enough to be made in NIL and that the pro prospects weren't that great.
6 feet 210, he's fine.
Number 3.
17 players will be attending next week's NFL draft. Cam Ward and Travis Hunter among them, but not Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
He will not be there.
Well, I think the fear is that, I know he's meeting with the Giants again. They're sitting at 3, but a lot of people think that that's more the Giants doing some work. If he falls, he may be on a bit of a tumble. In fact, I've heard a lot of draft people that are pretty smart that say, hey, he may slide all the way to the back half of that first round, and then someone moves back up into the 20s to get him. And especially being in that family, you do not want to be the guy sitting in the waiting room and drop it.
Meanwhile, Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe is in Seattle today visiting with the Seahawks.
Yep.
He will meet with the Rams later this week.
A lot of people think that he's going to get taken earlier than expected and someone's going to sit him on the bench and just try to develop him, but that guy's got a long way to go until he's an NFL quarterback. Also, Travis Hunter coming out and saying that if he can't play both ways, he won't play at all. Okay. Good.
What are the troops even fighting for?
That's so
if he can't play both ways, what are we even doing here?
I'm telling you, I'll go out on a limb. I do not understand the Travis Hunter hype. I think that is... He will be a fine NFL player, but I think we are making way, way too much of him.
Do the NBA playoffs really begin tonight?
Man.
Winner of Hawks Magic in Orlando is the 7th seed in the East. They will play Boston in round 1, and right now, the Magic are up 14.
If the Magic and the Hawks play and no one is around to watch it, did it really happen?
Yeah, the producer will still bet on it.
Who you got?
I did not bet a side. I got Magic in a couple money line parlays tonight.
A couple.
Well, I parlayed him with the Warriors, and I parlayed him with the Dodgers.
Later, the Warriors host the Grizzlies.
You could get into that game for $27, by the way, on Vivid Seats.
Nice.
The winner gets a matchup with Houston in the West. Bucks say they are confident Damian Lillard can return at some point during the postseason, although he's yet to be cleared from that blood clot.
They did say that he's making progress and his basketball activities are ramping up.
Milwaukee opens its postseason against the Pacers on Saturday. My Pacers.
That should be a pretty good series.
Number 1.
And two stars in sports about to be traded. One is Kevin Durant. Suns say they will help him seek a trade to a new team this summer. The other is Dolphins cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who just agreed to a 3-year, $72 million extension back in September. He is the highest paid corner in the league. 3 teams already linked to him: Cincinnati, Atlanta, and Detroit.
What did I tell you? Do not give 30-year-old cornerbacks and receivers big contracts. Sign him to a year. 1 year after signing him to that deal, you're trying to get out of it. And regardless of whether you trade him before June 1st or after June 1st, it's a massive hit. And they're saying that the whoever trades for him is probably going to make the Dolphins pick up a portion of that money. So they're going to pay him $24 million to not be on their team. Do not sign 30-year-old receivers and corners to big contracts. This is just dumb organizational stuff.
Victorico's Mexican Food brings you the Hot 5 at 5. 19 locations across Oregon and Washington, now in Lackamas Square in Vancouver. Find a location near you at victoricos.com. When you think of flavor, think of Victoricos. All right, coming up next, we will talk about Wiley Ballard.
Wiley E. Coyote? What?
Is that his name? Wiley Ballard?
The Wiley Ballard game.
The Wiley Ballard game. He is a quite handsome Atlanta Braves dugout reporter. Is that what they call him, or sideline reporter?
Yes, I get a dugout reporter because there's no sidelines.
But they don't go in the dugouts either.
No,
So it's,
not really. He's just a
reporter.
Stadium reporter?
A roving reporter.
Was he unprofessional, or was it harmless?
Or was it awesome?
Next on The Fan.
Check out the Fan
All right, now to a very serious sports topic. I told you it was Titillating Topic Tuesday.
Can't wait. I've been waiting to be titillated.
Well, okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and preface this by saying that I don't think any of the three of us think this is a big deal.
No.
But
I understand why someone's got a cob up their butt.
A lot of big J journos don't like this.
Of course.
Well, the internet doesn't like it.
No.
Or maybe it's just a small piece of the internet.
Sexist, you pigs.
So here's the deal. This is a Braves reporter by the name of Wiley Ballard, and they check in with him on the broadcast last night in Atlanta. Who are they playing? I think they're playing
They're north of the border in Toronto.
Oh, they're in Toronto. Okay, so he's
like he travels as part
but
of.
But he's on the Braves broadcast.
He's the third man on the Braves broadcast crew. Who
and
is
they do call him a sideline reporter.
Okay, and here's what that sounded like.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my number.
I'm dead serious. They're saying in my ear right now. She doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago.
I am speechless.
I got the number. We're good.
Yeah, so it shows the end of it there. It shows the first girl. What was her name?
It was
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren, the first girl, had his phone in her hands.
Yeah.
Seemingly putting her digits into his phone. And now, I got to tell you something about Wiley Ballard. He is a handsome bastard.
Well, and did you also know that he is the Georgia Broadcaster of the Year?
Oh!
Yes!
Wow.
Yes.
Southern charm.
Wow.
He is the NSMA Sports Media Georgia Broadcaster of the Year.
Okay, so if you couldn't tell what was happening up there, he was trying to get into some girls' pants.
Although, to be fair, it wasn't his idea.
The broadcasters put him up to it.
The broadcasters put him up to it.
That is a good point because
and he's
a
like,
lot
check out this quarter zip, baby. Why don't you throw those digits down?
A lot of people are giving him some. He is being criticized a lot. You're right. Nobody is talking about the play-by-play guy who basically teed him up for it, which leads me to believe that it was all set up anyway. But whatever. He's just doing bits out there.
But then that means he had it holstered with the three of them had that all set up and ready to go.
I think it's possible that he had that set up as a bit.
Well,
but he still would need the guy to set it up for him, right?
Yeah, but he could do. They could coordinate that in there.
Oh, for sure, they could
in the break. But of course, the criticism on internet is, well, imagine if that were a female reporter. She can't do that, and that unfortunately is true.
Wait. It's true because Joy Taylor slept with everyone known to man.
But you also think Joy Taylor is a joke because of that.
Yeah, she also makes millions of dollars and still has her show. So
ESPN sideline reporter Chris Budden said that if a female reporter did that, it would be the last job that she had.
That's not true because female reporters sleep with athletes all the time. I mean, that happens.
Yeah, but again, I think it's more that this was on the air. I think the topic should be, the topic I can get behind from this is, how do we get to a place where women can do this bit on the air? Because I think that would be great.
Equality.
Look, here's the problem is no one needs to set up. If there's a hot sideline reporter, there's a shocker, by the way. She doesn't have to do anything to get anyone's number. That dude's throwing a baseball at her with the number written on it.
But seriously, and I know this would not go over well with the Neanderthals.
No.
But wouldn't it be funny if you did have the hot sideline reporter for your baseball team or whatever, and she just sees some, like the Cuban Brad Pitt sitting in the stands, and she goes over and snuggles up to him and does a little bit just like that? I mean, come on, that's cheeky, it's funny, it's cute. Is it not?
Apparently, we can't do that.
I think most fans would say, "What a hoe."
It's 2025, and apparently we've.
Well, Wiley's a perv then.
Hey,
how about that?
That is the Georgia Broadcaster of the Year, which, by the way, Can we talk about people? Broadcaster of the year.
Well,
Really
he probably nominated himself.
Come on.
They usually do.
Okay, so my question is what percentage of people watching that were actually turned off or disgusted?
7 people.
Right. Very few.
Very few.
Okay, maybe Maud.
Yeah.
In in the suburbs of Atlanta.
This is what happens.
Female reporter who
this is what
tweeted
happens
left
all the
24 hours.
time when quote internet. Dave Chappelle said this the best. He said whenever Twitter gets angry at me, I don't give an F because Twitter's not a real person or a real place. Okay, so it blew up a little bit and some people on social media gave you flack. Who gives 2 Fs?
Yeah.
As long as the Braves are okay with it, and I can't believe that the Braves are going to make a big deal out of this, then just and you got the number. Hopefully you got lucky.
I thought it was fine. It was harmless.
It was harmless.
It was just a guy doing a bit, and it was actually he was pretty funny about it. Like if there's a later clip where they are it kind of became a part of the broadcast.
Yeah.
And so later they show him again. He's up there still talking to those girls, and they don't have the mic on or anything, so you can't hear what they're saying. But he cheekily looks at the camera and winks.
Hey, what's up?
Which it's great.
Dude, what is wrong with a male or a female getting someone's number? Are we that paralyzed?
Well, that's not what people have the problem with. It's that he did it as part of his profession, or it's like he'd be more professional.
Because
than that.
no other profession has ever done anything like doctor in his lab coat. He's never used that to try to get a lady's number. Stop it.
Well, I know it's like. Right. You have to ignore all the things that really happen in real life and pretend like they don't happen just because you're on TV.
Exactly.
It's just a little bit. And I also don't really understand why we have to operate on the premise that everyone has to be okay with everything someone does on a broadcast.
Thank you.
Like who cares? If you don't like it, don't watch the Braves broadcast.
There aren't rules for this.
If
right?
Wiley Ballard or whatever his name is upsets you, then again, don't pay attention when they go to him. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
Just again, I love it. Internet is upset.
Well, and that's the other thing too. It's, to like you said with Chappelle, it's like if you ask the question, what percentage of the internet screamed about it? It's a minute percentage. Yeah. But the problem is those get magnified and become the story as if it represents a majority of opinion.
Yes.
And right?
It does not.
And it did, because I didn't see, so like I'm one of these guys who doesn't see all the comments on Twitter as it happens.
Sure.
But I do see the Sports Illustrated article that surmised all the comments and put them all in one place. Yeah. And they were all that.
Exactly.
They were from female reporters saying there's no way a woman could do this. And so crossing a line, as you and I know pretty well, I think in this business, crossing a line is a gray area.
Sure.
But we know it when we hear it or see it.
Yes.
And that wasn't it. So we need to stop taking our cues about what is and what isn't right from the perpetually outraged on Twitter.
Amen.
And so they need to stop these. So part of it is the Sports Illustrateds or whomever create these headlines surrounding the outrage about Wiley Ballard. Mm-hmm. You need to stop doing that, because is there really outrage about Wiley Ballard?
No.
Or is it just a few people on internet?
Exactly. And again, you can take 10 comments, lump them together, and you've now made a story. It's just content creation.
Yeah.
It's just someone.
That's all it is.
It's someone there. And it's the same thing whether you're doing sports or you're doing politics or whatever. We live in an outrage culture. And the news media feeds into it, because if it bleeds, it leads. So you don't have anything going on right now in the Braves world because they suck, but you take something harmless that was kind of a funny little joke, and now you've turned it into something ugly.
Did you see his cherry on top as well?
What did he do?
He only tweeted one thing yesterday, and it was the still frame of Matt Damon putting the number on the wall in Good Will Hunting. I got her number. How about them apples?
Good for him. The last thing I want to see from Wiley Ballard, Wiley, why can't I say his name right?
It's a weird name.
Wiley Ballard. The last thing I want to see from him, when I'm going to be most disappointed in Wiley Ballard,
an apology.
If we get the stupid forced apology.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, dude. That was fine. Do your thing. You're not going to make everyone happy.
Exactly. Yes.
And by the way, newsflash, most people in this business or in the media or broadcast world, or who are any good at all, are pretty polarizing. They do things like that. Some people dig them, other people don't.
Yeah.
So what? We live... Like we as media, or we as people in in broadcast forms, we live by what we say and do. If lines are crossed, if real lines are crossed, we're gone.
Yeah.
You see it all the time.
You will pay a price.
If we say or do something you don't like or a group of people don't like, so be it. Yeah. It's two totally different things. I love these people that are like, well, you can't do that. You should be fired. Why? Because just because you didn't like it, you piece of crap? Shut up. Go listen to something else.
I love that you can't do it. And the response is, well, I just did.
I just did. And guess what? I'm going to probably do it again.
Take it to the streets. We've had that a couple times over the years where, a small group of people, maybe some bicycles, God, I can't say it.
I can't wait.
Cyclists. How about that?
Keep going.
Cyclists.
Bicyclists.
That's why I said cyclists.
Bicycle.
And they decided to get all, butthurt over something and try to turn it into something that
I remember a guy coming up to the window of the studio yelling at you.
Yeah.
You need to get the cob out of your ass.
Yeah, dude came up and
he's yelling at you.
He was screaming and frothing. And I said, what do you want? And he said, apologize. And I said, absolutely. I'm sorry. And then he yelled at me, not good enough. That's a true story, by the way. I literally was like, what would you like? And he demanded an apology. And I said, I'm sorry. Not good. And then at that point, you're like, I don't know what you want, man. what would you like? It's hilarious. Because all that guy wanted? He just wanted to be mad. That's all.
Yeah. And he moved the goalposts,
Yeah.
Because once you apologize, now it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
The perpetually outraged should be ignored.
Thank you.
Because it's like the boy who cried wolf, man.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, dude, it's spot on.
Sure.
But most of the time, those people are just pissed about their lives, or they're pissed. They're just angry people, and so it's not. We're not going to listen to you.
Well, we love being pissed off.
They were hurting you so
Baseball
bad.
is no longer our
no.
national pastime. Our national pastime is being outraged.
I want more Wiley Ballard.
I do too.
Sportscaster of the year. And by the way, there are a lot of people. He was trending on Twitter, and there's a lot of reporters that are coming to the fence saying that he is a kind, sweet, just really
great.
A really good dude, and a lot of people come into his defense. So now, granted, most of those are men, but
Yeah, so he's obviously single.
Yes, he's single.
Do we have any exes or?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait till
here we go.
Well, someone's going to be digging through his accounts and trying to find something.
Sexist comments.
Googling Wiley Ballard dating history.
You're going to find someone that went on a bad date with him, and I remember this. I don't remember who was making the point, but obviously the Me Too movement was an important thing, and that crap needs to stop. What men are doing, but there is a difference between Bill Cosby and going on a bad date. That you can go on a bad date and not have it, go well, and just two people didn't get along, and maybe people misread signals or whatever. And Bill Cosby, there are degrees to that, and that's the unfortunate part is someone can come out and be like, "Well, I went on a date with Wiley Ballard 4 years ago, and he was kind of a creep." And next thing you know, then you get painted as one, and it's a dicey thing out there.
We can't let him cancel Wiley Ballard.
No, we will not be canceling.
Free Wiley Ballard.
Free Wiley
Free
Ballard.
him.
Well, and hopefully the Braves too.
What?
Again, the worst thing that could happen in this, if you're him or the Braves, is to apologize. Don't apologize. Because you don't have anything to apologize for.
They're playing again right now, and I haven't seen anything pregame or otherwise.
Good.
Someone said trolls are pretty clever these days. Best to steer clear of replying to people online you don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't
Why?
understand people that get into Twitter fights.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but why?
Well, it's the idea that once you interact with them, then
They got you.
They got you, and they'll use it to stir it up. The best thing to do is just ignore it,
Yeah,
or I
for
agree with them. Anytime someone says anything negative about me, I just agree with them, and then tell them that they're right and that I'm gonna change. It's just like you get all this venom and vitriol, and nothing diffuses someone calling you a worthless piece of crap by being like, you know what, you are.
You're right.
I am a piece of crap.
You are onto something.
Like, wow.
Takes all the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, it does take the wind out of the sails, and it usually ends up, or you'd be like, wow, that hurts. And it usually ends up, hey, sorry, I was just.
Hey, you hurt my feelings.
I know, I can't believe I did that. That was horrible of me. What are you going to say now?
You just take it out, but there's people in the media locally that I know. Who was it? Dude, Chad Doing the other day gave out his number and
doxed himself. I saw that.
Doxed himself, yeah. He like some dude was upset with him and he goes, "You want to do this show? You can do it better. Here's my phone number." Actually put out his phone number and said, "You can come do an hour of my show if you think you can do it better than me." Like F you.
It was super basic. He said he was excited about the direction of the Blazers because of Chauncey, and he liked Chauncey. And the person just responded, "You don't know ball." And he responded, "Oh yeah? Host my show for an hour. Here's my number."
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Dude,
that's akin to what was the one we just talked about the other day where the Boston guy, was it a Boston guy, lost his whole...
Chicago. It was Bernstein.
30 years!
Because of he threatened the dude who said he didn't fish safely or
yeah.
something.
He posts a picture of a fish.
Yeah.
Some guy's like, "You a-hole."
Yeah.
Why did he...
He thought it was like
him?
he broke fish and gaming rules. He was like, "Oh, that's a female and she's spawning and like you're a jerk." And he's like, "You think I don't know how to fish?"
Yeah, and he took it all the way to him getting fired.
Threatened that guy's children.
Yeah.
Boy, that is something. I tell you what, that tells me a lot about I should shut up.
Yeah, dude, there's people that just lose it, man, over something is like you don't know. I mean, imagine someone saying you don't know ball and that your response to that is, "Here's my phone number, come host my effing show." Like, wow.
Maybe he just wants a day off.
I guess. It was only an hour of the show, you know.
All right, NBA and WNBA draft dingleberries coming up next.
All right.
Here's Buck.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, the NBA playoff play-in going on right now in the Eastern Conference. The Orlando Magic hosting the Atlanta Hawks, winner earning the 7 seed and a matchup with the 2 seed Boston Celtics. Right now it's all Magic, 61-45. They are nearly at halftime of that one. Wendell Carter Jr. leading the way for Orlando. He's got 10 points. Paolo Banchero has 9. On the other side of things, Trae Young with 10 points for the Hawks. Coming up in the late game in the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. That one will tip off at about 7 o'clock. Winner of that one gets the Houston Rockets, the 2 seed in the Western Conference. Moses Moody is considered a game-time decision for Golden State. The Warriors are favored by 7. Elsewhere in the association, Damian Lillard will miss the start of the postseason for the Bucks due to the blood clot in his right calf. His condition has improved, but he's yet to be cleared by team doctors. And the Mariners opening a 9-game road trip in Cincinnati this afternoon. They got off to a hot start with a leadoff home run from Dylan Moore. They've fallen behind. It's currently 6-4 in favor of the Reds, bottom of the 6th inning. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey app. The only way to rewind Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan. Tired of getting
It's time for Who's Leading the Charge. A look under the hood at the coaches, players, and teams getting it done. Brought to you by Battery Exchange.
This ball is driven deep out to left field. Absolutely crushed. Dylan Moore, a multi-homer night. He has put the Mariners in front in the 5th.
What's up with Dylan Moore?
It didn't last long, by the way. The Reds are up
They're
6-4. But, hey.
Well,
Dylan,
Moore's up right now with 2 men on.
He's 3 for 3 with 2 homer and 4 RBI.
Wow.
So,
historic Dylan Moore night.
Dylan Moore.
It's not the Wiley Ballard game. It's the Dylan Moore game.
Except they're about to waste it by losing to the Reds.
Mention code BXT10 at checkout for 10% off your entire purchase at Battery Exchange. Online at Battery Exchange with an All right, now.
Girl, you something else.
To WNBA talk.
Can't wait.
I told you it was titillating topic Tuesday.
You know I love the WNBA.
How about this?
You talking
for
about
a
Angel
topic?
Reese?
No. Who is the gal? I think she was at Oregon for a while. She was the one that called bullshit on the NCAA.
Oh yeah,
Sedona Prince.
Sedona Prince.
Yeah,
who turns out is a horrible human being.
You've been reading about her?
Yeah, she's a wife beater.
Yeah,
a predator.
Yeah, it seems like she's a domestic abuser.
Yes.
Yeah. Are women turning into men? That's the topic.
It's possible.
That's what everyone wants on Primetime.
The whole WNBA thing is anything you can do, we can do. Well,
Yeah.
it turns out that goes for off the court stuff as well.
So she didn't get
some
drafted.
gun charges now.
She didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
She's 24. 4 years ago, she was seen as a pioneer in women's basketball because she's the one that called out the NCAA.
The discrepancy in the way the men's tournament run and the
Yeah.
women's tournament. And by the way,
She got some change
She got
out of
some
that.
big changes done, and really that was a big step forward.
Yeah, so she would have been. I don't know why. Why is she so old? She just stayed in college.
COVID and medical red shirts,
Is that
basically.
what it
She ended up being like a
Some of
7-year
those
senior.
people got 7 years, man. Did you also see that there are two? I think there's two Duke players and from someone else. They are suing the NCAA, saying that eligibility limits are dumb, and they want to play more football because they're
I'll stay as long as I want.
Yeah, they want to say that as long as they want because they're not considered NFL prospects, and they're saying that even because they got hurt, they should be able to play basically as long as they want because they can make hundreds of thousands of dollars off NIL and they can't play in the NFL. They're literally suing the NCAA saying we can play college football as long as we want.
Well, that's what I thought with Caitlin Clark. When she was coming out, I'm like, could she make more money at Iowa than in the WNBA? The answer is yes.
Yes.
So if she didn't have limits, why wouldn't she just stay there?
Caitlin Clark is white.
I mean, the idea is, once you go pro, obviously all the marketing opportunities, but you had all of those at Iowa.
It's not a crazy idea.
Yeah,
It's just that they can't because of
you can't be 28
limits.
years old.
Well, you can, or at least according to these Duke players,
They're trying.
They think you should be able to.
You should be able to.
So Prince was accused in January of assault by her former partner. Both women filed police reports alleging they were assaulted, neither charged with the crime. 2024, Olivia some woman named Olivia, another former partner of Prince, posted a 10-part TikTok series accusing her of pushing her off an ATV and hitting her while they were vacationing in Mexico.
Yeah.
At least 2 other women have accused Prince of violence or abuse since 2019. She was sued in September by a Jane Doe in a Texas court that alleged Prince grabbed her and forcibly kissed her on a date. It also alleged Prince took Doe's hand and forced it down her pants.
Yowzers.
The lawsuit was withdrawn by the plaintiff a few months after it was filed. Prince has denied all those allegations.